Now let's see if everything is working. I am using a new stream this time, so a little bit of configuration has had to be done to make sure that an old dragon does not completely screw up his technology and all that sort of thing. Uh, I just realized that I'm sitting too far away that I cannot see my comment box right now. Let me do a little bit more adjustments, if you will pardon me. I usually like to take care of the stuff before the stream starts, but we'll see how far we go. Well, how is the lighting here? I know the lighting is a little bit dim. Let's see if we can change that a little bit, perhaps. Make a dragon appear more yellow than he already is. Of course, with no, racial context in that whatsoever. Well, it doesn't seem to be catching my eyes very well. Alright, let's try this then. I'm going to turn this around. Yes, of course, we're playing Photoshop right now with an old dragon. An old dragon is very much a perfect subject for playing around with Photoshop and all that. Not that anyone's ever done that, of course. No one at all. Well, can everybody see me? I hope that everyone can see me. I can't see everyone right now because again the chat box is now tiny. I've minimized it. Let me actually just reach over without showing my rear end and see if there's everyone. There is a little bit of a delay going on right now. Let me see if I can move this chat box up. There we go. Oh, I can't move it out. Well, that is unfortunate, but we'll have to make do. Well, I'll just have to lean a little bit more in and see what people are saying about me. Well, people can see me, and I suppose they can hear me as they are responding to what I'm saying right now. So, greetings once again to all of my audience, both old and new. Well, I'm the one that's old. You're all new compared to me. So, greetings to all of my audience members, new and new. I am, of course, your host, Grumpy Tien Long, the 9,000 plus year old celestial god of the skies, whatever the description says down there. And this is my humble Grumpystream, the last one of this current year of 2016. Yes, this is the there, I seem to have some more nog stuck in my mouth. Give me a moment to get it out. Ah, that's a little bit. But as I was saying, this is the last stream of this year in December of 2016, and we are very quickly heading into a new year, which I would be safe to assume that everyone feels the same as I do, because, well, 2016 frankly sucked. It sucked so badly there is not enough suckage or any synonyms related to suck that would actually describe 2016 well. So, well, I'll just say that 2016 sucked, and I think everyone is ready for a new year to begin. So, with that being said, of course, one of my Christmas hats would already fall. How long has it been since we started this? It's not been not been 3 minutes, and already one of my hats has fallen. Of course, it seems that my horniness is too much for any of the hats that I wear, whether it be a top hat or a rice farmer hat or a Christmas hat of any sort. I can't wear any hats. All right, let's put it over here for now. Can you still hear me? All right, that's not going to work. Let's see if I can keep my head on, or keep it on my head a little more. And if it doesn't, excuse me, the horns are a little hard to get. The horns are hard after all. It seems that half of my shows this year were me struggling to put something on. After all, dragons are not accustomed to putting on the clothing of humans, or, well, anything of humans entirely for that fact. But is it staying on now? I hope so, because, of course, of course it fell off. Bugger that hat. As this is the festive season, I tried to put on a little bit of more of a festive look, minus an entire Santa Claus costume. I'm not going that far. I haven't sunken that low into depression or old age yet. So, well, I decided to just stick with a little Christmas memento, of course, to celebrate the holiday season, where we all gather inside by the warm fires and drink lots of spiked nog and eat all the cookies and stuff and become all roly-poly and enjoy each other's company. I have none of that whatsoever. I just sit, me, myself, and I, with my Christmas hats and my ornaments that I've got sitting around, and of course a massive bottle of sake, and a funny one at that as well. Well, tonight I shall be enjoying for this stream a lovely bottle of Tate no Kawa 50. Tate no Kawa 50, which the 50 denotes that it is a milling ratio of 50%. Of course, for those of you that either watch my stream or Uncle Kage's stream, you would know what that 50% milling ratio would be. And if you don't, well, ask someone in the chat. But it is the good stuff, and there is a story that comes with this. I may have told the story last month at my November Grumpystream, if you were there. If not, it's on YouTube somewhere. You can go look at it yourself. But I have procured myself another bottle of the same sake, and, well, of course, we can't start the show off properly without enjoying a little bit of it, so let me see what I've got over here to hold it in. And of course, in the spirit of the holiday season, once again, I've sort of upgraded myself to a jolly little snowman. If you can see over here, I've got a jolly little snowman mug that, well, he seems to be quite happy that I'm drinking him, because, well, I guess that's, when you're a snowman, you take it where you can get it. So, I shall be drinking the snowman, and, well, the snowman shall drink my sake. So I will have sake-flavored snowman juice tonight. I guess that's what I shall call it. Sake-flavored snowman juice. It's almost like, you know, the whole cycle of war and stuff where, you know, you eat and then you get eaten. Never mind. You kids are into some weird and sick things. Bah! Go outside or read a book or something. All right. I shall open up my bottle of Tate no Kawa 50. There we are. Came off a little strange, but that's fine. And I will pour this lovely, lovely sake. I should probably pour it for the audience so they can see. I don't know if you can see because of the lighting, but the sake that is coming out is practically transparent. There is no color into it whatsoever, which means that this is very, very pure stuff. Very good quality stuff indeed. Worthy of the 50 which it carries in its name. Let me just quickly rip this off, throw it over there, and put the cap back on so I don't become a messy, spilly dragon whatsoever. Oh, I'm a little concerned about the lighting still. I remember the last time that I had this set up over here. I'm not in my cave, of course, my underground bunker, because, well, frankly, I was too lazy to set all that up. But I remember the last time there was a bit of an issue seeing me. Right now, it seems that I look okay. I've got a little preview of myself going on over there, and I look sufficiently yellow enough. And I think that's what counts, is me being yellow, of course. You can't have a celestial dragon looking all blue or red. Well, actually, you can be blue. That's my big brother. And but you can't have a celestial dragon looking not yellow. After all, we are Eastern dragons. We must be yellow. So, with that being said, I shall now enjoy my sake-flavored snowman juice of the evening. I hope my snowman friend here doesn't mind smiling for the camera while I drink out of him, or drink him, or whatever it's called. But regardless, here's to you all of my friends. I hope that you are all staying warm this season, warm and, well, warm and cozy in whatever ways you can. Cheers to you, my friends. Ganbei. That was good stuff. Now I know why those airport customs or security people were so excited when they saw Celestial Dragon's bottle. Oh, yes, where was I? Must not get carried away here, not at all. Oh, and I did have something to show as well. Well, of course, my sake bottles here, you see, while they are fine bottles of sake and, of course, of the highest grade, I could not help but feel that they sort of went a little unloved. They could have a little more character imbued into them. So my dear friend Uncle Kage had been so thoughtful to have found a gift for me that would help add some character to the drinks that I procure for my streams. So I have it right here, and well, I shall show you what he had gotten me before I actually use it. Because, well, of course, he likes to play the he likes to keep reminding me of the fact that he is extremely Canadian. He is extra Canadian when he visits up north, and he likes to tease a dragon and his Canadian residency, as well as his sort of his Canadian upbringing and the Canadian culture in general, because apparently we hoses are very fun to make fun of. I'm no hoser, but everyone around me is. So he got me, well, he got me what I can only describe as a micro hoser gift set. This is like your introduction to Canada gift set right here. Like if you wanted to visit Canada, you have to bring one of these in right here. And basically, if you're a microscopic human, because well, of course, I am a dragon, I am very large. You would buy yourself one of these, and you would put it on, and you would instantly feel 100% Canadian. You would, adopt the accent that all Canadians have, and you would start being very apologetic, and you would suddenly find yourself buying as many hockey game tickets as possible. So he got me this, and I figured, well, it's a tad bit small for me. I can't be the one wearing this. But, well, of course, my sake bottles actually seem to be about the right size. So it seems that I can now dress up my sake so that it's extra Canadian. So I just have to poke a hole there and drape it over the bottle top. There, see, now my sake suddenly immigrated from Japan and became Canadian. Now it's a Canadian sake. That's a chalky or khaki or anyhow. And then of course we have to have the flap cap, of course. The lovely Canadian flap cap here, made in flannel, of course, 100% flannel. And the trim is most definitely from a goose of some sort. Maybe one of those geese got too close to, one of those rednecks down south, and they did something about it. But, well, we have to put it on the top over here. And there we have it. We have ourselves a fully Canadian sake, complete with, its flannel shirt and flap cap hat thingy mabobber, and you can almost hear it going, and I'm sorry, and want to have a glass of poutine when you sort of put it closer to your ear. Maybe you'll find that it invites you to, the next hockey game it's going to watch or something. But yes, it's a very, very charismatic and lovely gift from Uncle Kari, so thank you once again. I know that you're watching along with Grandma. Hello, Grandma, if you are there, it's a pleasure to have you again. I had in return sent both Uncle Kagi and Grandma Kagi a little something to commemorate the holiday season with. I believe Grandma Kagi actually got her little gift just a few moments ago. She had received a card from myself and my human pet. I had him write it because I don't write well in human. And what else? I also sent a little something to Uncle Kagi as well, and I was not going to mention it until later in the stream, but since I'm on that topic, would you be so kind, good sir, if you were to show these folk, maybe post a photo on Twitter or something, of what it is exactly a dragon had gotten you for the holiday season, or, well, for Christmas, as the humans say it. But yes, he had gotten me this lovely gift, and I've been using it to Canadify my sake ever since. So I am hoping that he has the ability to take that photo and put it on Twitter and then share it with a lot of you, and you'll see exactly why I got this gift for him, because, well, apparently he has a bit of trouble getting innocent celestial dragons that require a little bit of wine from him out of his cellar. So I got him something to do about I got him something to help, rather. So, in the meantime, what else are you up to right now? What is my audience up to? I'd like to have a peek at the chat right now. I have to lean over here. I'm sort of giving everyone a side monocle glare as I am right now. I'm giving, see, this is my monocle right now. I have to form a hand monocle there. That's not my monocle. There, that is my monocle glare. That is a monocle glare. I'm glaring at you with my hand monocle. There we are. Well, Uncle kindly says he must finish dinner first. Of course, take your time. I would not want to rush you in devouring the, whatever delicious dinner it is that you and Grandma are having. So let us see what else the chat has to say as well. Uh, Boiling away in Australia, says Volt Asgore. Well, I hope you don't boil yourself too much, because if you boil yourself, you'll then become a Xiao Long Bao, and instead of being down under, you'll be up top, because everyone knows when you boil dumplings or wontons, they start at the bottom, down under, and then they sort of rise and float to the top when they're all ready to be, bowed up and eaten and all that. So hopefully you don't boil yourself too long. Make sure you're following the instructions on the packet, which came with your Australian Australianness. What else are people saying? Tien, shouldn't you be something, 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 drop of a hat? Well, my hat did drop, yes, but I don't know what I should be doing when my hat drops. If it was a drinking game of any sort, drink every time Tien drops his hat, well, I think that the stream would be over a lot sooner than everyone would expect. Where is that hat? Oh, it's down there, of course. It's down under. My hat escaped to Australia. And, well, frankly, I don't feel like fighting with this hat. And, although it will lower my festivity stat by about 5, I will lose 5 festivity. Well, I shall make up with it in other ways. I have several more festive things over here I could work with. Perhaps I bought this candy cane that apparently youngsters like shoving in their mouths and then putting back and forth like this. I'm not quite sure why, but well, perhaps I'll try it. All right, I've got my candy cane in there. My mouth is kind of stuck together, but somehow I can still talk because screw you, I'm a dragon. Let me see. I've got other ornaments here. I've got celestial ornaments, as you can see. I've got these 2 celestial ornaments. These were from my big brother about 2 years ago. As you can see, they are very fitting for a celestial dragon for obvious reasons. I don't know where I could put them, however. Well, perhaps I should just show them off. There's not really a place I can put these celestial ornaments. Of course, I'll hang them up on my horns or something when they're not being too horny. Let me see what else I have. I don't know what else I have that could be festive. I did have lights last year. For those that were watching my stream on December last year, I had many Christmas lights adorning this door frame over here, and well, basically I had lots of I had some other Christmas things I remember going on. Why is this light not on? Oh, goodness gracious. I'll have to deal with that later. Alright, that light is already drunk anyways. I'm not going to bother with that light. Anyhow, as long as the lighting is alright and I appear, well, decently yellow enough, I shall deal with it. That's a little better. I'll keep this Did the candy cane fall? No, it did not fall. It's right there. I'll move it to the side of my mouth. That seems a little better. It's like my 3rd noodle over here right now. I've got a 3rd noodle that tastes very sweet. There we are. Alright, what is happening with the stream right now? Hello Tien Long, I'm just wondering, when is your birthday, so maybe some of us can wish you a happy birthday when it comes round. Well, I'll have you know that my birthday I've long forgotten about. That's what happened when you get old. When you get old, every day is essentially the exact same until one day you realize that you are old and then suddenly you begin drinking, which is what I usually do. But if you must know, my official birthday, which I consider is the day that I came down to, the day that I came down to officially retire on this planet was January 17th. That was my retirement day, which I guess is as good as a birthday because, well, for a birthday you get like all these small gifts and all that sort of stuff, but well, when retirement came for me, it was like, oh my goodness, the greatest gift was the freedom from being pestered by all the younger dragons up above in the celestial bureaucracies trying to get me to do all their work while they take all the credit and whatnot. So my birthday, or the day that I came down here, was on January 17th. I hope that adequately answered it. Of course, Old dragons, they take their time and they ramble on and on and on and on and on and on, and now I'm conducting that Christmas music with a candy cane. This is much too festive. Ah, bugger. I wasn't supposed to be this festive. I thought I would be a little festive. Just a little bit. Just, if I used the noodle as a length, I was going to be just this festive. Just this much festive. But I'm starting to be a little too much festive. No, let me see. Other people are saying as well, what are you going to do for Christmas, Tien? Well, I thought you would know already, Silver Godhomon. You're sort of looking at it when I hold this up. This is what I will be doing for Christmas. Cheers to you. Now, the only plans that I really had in December were basically Midwest Fur Fest. And at Midwest Fur Fest, I was there this year. I made a few appearances, not too many, but not too few. And I generally enjoyed myself a good time, as I always do. I had quite a few people come up to me, and they asked me, how I was doing, and they asked me if I was sober, which I regretfully had to reply, yes, I was. And, well, that's a lie. The only night I was not sober was on Thursday evening, where many of you who attended Midwest Fur Fest may have seen me walking around as Lord Tien Long. Lord Tien Long, which, well, I don't know if I have a visual example ready. I could get Lord Tien Long, but, or become Lord Tien Long, rather. Let me substitute. Let me see if I can visually recreate Lord Tien Long. Oh, hold on here. I guess this will do. This is, I guess, decent enough to imitate a lordly sort of fellow. It will give me a third noodle, but I guess I will improvise with that. And how did this fall over then? I thought I put that back nicely. And I had this over here, my pimp cane, yes. Most important for Lord Tien Long is his pimp cane, which he uses in order to subjugate his fellow fuzzy creatures, and he basically utterly pimps them to go out and get him as many drinks as possible so that he can drink them. So this was the pimp cane I had. What was that little thing I just put on myself? Did it fall down? Oh yes, it did fall down. Oh goodness me. I was trying to put this on just now so I could imitate a sort of lordly fellow. Let me see if this will work once more. There we go. That works a little bit. There. This was Lord Tien Long at Midwest Fur Fest. Oh wait, I have to have the drink as well. There's Lord Tien Long at Midwest Fur Fest. There we are. That was what I looked like on Thursday when I was having a good time, so to say. I shall put that back. I shall put this back in its corner. As for this, it sort of gives me a third noodle. I don't know if I like it or not. Got a nice one, though. It's quite a nice third noodle. I like it. I'll keep it on for just a little bit. All right. Let's see what else is happening right now. Yes, I have 3 noodles right now. I have 1 noodle here. I've got a second noodle here. Well, second noodle would be this one. And then I've got a third noodle right here. Let me seize. And Envy says, I don't think Tien knows what pimping is used for. Actually, I don't think what youngsters know what pimping is used for. Remember, I'm much older than most of the pimps that are around right now. Pimping has been skewed for a very, very long time. There have been many historical figures that were pimps themselves, and, you wouldn't have ever realized it. Basically, it's the concept of having that authority to, instantly subjugate someone and get them to do your bidding just because you can. And for dragons, it works pretty much the exact same. In fact, dragons are the best pimps in history. Dragons are the ones that, will capture a village and, start eating people unless they go out and, gather all the golden shinies for us and they give it back to us and they get nothing in return but, but their mere existences and whatnot. Us dragons are the best pimps. Others don't know how to do it like dragons do. We dragons do it best. And my Mr. Fury Gamer says, "Alright, got to go. Have fun. See you on the next stream." But we barely started, and you're already leaving. Well, I guess you have your reasons, but regardless, thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope to see you on the next stream. Ah, goodness, is an old dragon already that boring? I did not expect people to be leaving that soon. Usually, it's about maybe the 3 hour mark where an old dragon really begins to ramble and people are, falling asleep because apparently my voice is very soothing and very sort of poetic to listen to at times. And I do have a few youngsters from time to time messaging me, commenting about the voice that I put on and how it matches the appearance that I have. And well, I don't know how specifically it does that. It just sort of happens. I am an old celestial dragon. It comes with the age and the character. But the fact that they use it to help them fall asleep at night, well, you kids need to find a better hobby. Let us see what else you youngsters are saying so far. Let me see. Nicole does that. I don't know what that says. That's a little much for me. Hey Tien, cheers for the rain I'm suddenly getting here in Brisbane. Well, you're very welcome. After all, I heard just now that it was boiling over there where Volt is. I believe he is from New South Wales, if I believe I'm correct. I'm not sure. My memory is sort of foggy. But when he said it was boiling, I sort of mentally told the clouds up there above where you are to, stop being a pair of hoses and start giving some rain. Help you cool down over there. Ugh. And Kenrick Vossen says 你好 Tien Long, and I say 你好 我很好的谢谢你好吗 let me see. Everyone else says Tetris says Tien, thanks for the cold, love the cold. Well, you're very welcome. After all, it is the holiday season, and if there was nothing cold outside, then you wouldn't be able to appreciate the warmth of inside, both of the indoor temperatures as well as the company that you'll find inside. That's what the holiday season is all about. It is about enjoying the warm company of everyone that you care for, that is around you, of course. Alright, this third whisk, I believe I've had enough of strangling my muzzle or muzzling me shut. This third whisker, it does match my colors, though. I quite adore this third whisker. But I shall leave it over there. Perhaps Xiaolong Bao can play with it a bit. There you go, Xiaolong Bao, you can play with it. Well, let's see what else is going on right now. Bartender Plays says, hey Tien, finally made a stream of yours. Sucks I only made it after I got severely injured. LOL, nice to meet you, sir. Bows. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope that you will recover soon. Hopefully it's not a grave injury, nothing that will be long-lasting. I should have another sip of my sake. This really is the good stuff. I cannot believe that the airport security officials were so sly and so knowing of a Celestial Dragon selection. Again, they must have been drinking that stuff hard because, of course, they do not know how to drink like a Celestial does. Good stuff. And thankfully there's a big bottle, because of course dragons need dragon-sized bottles. But if it should happen that I run out of my refreshment anytime soon, I do have a replacement which actually is better than this one, even more so than what I'm drinking right now. Of course, I don't think that there'd be anyone that would recognize this bottle now, would there be? Anyhow, moving on, I shall leave that over there. So far, in my part of Canada, there has been quite a bit of wild weather so far. Of course, none of that due to me, of course, or perhaps it was due to me. I can't really tell. The past few days have been sort of low and grumbly for Celestial Dragon, and I think that sort of carried into the weather forecast. Again, I claim that I am retired, as I am, from controlling the skies, but sometimes I let my anger get the better of me, and well, they can feel it up there. I'll tell you, they'll feel it up there. But as I've been saying, the weather so far here has been a little bit wild, to say the least. But I'm hoping that everywhere else it is all right. As we've already heard, we've got varying weathers all around. We've got boiling dragons, we've got soaked dragons, and all of those are down under. And we've got frozen dragons. Apparently, that's what I am right now. Frozen noodles is what someone called me, and then I said, well, why not just call it a fruidles then? If it's frozen noodle, then you can call it a fruidle. And if it's a snowed-in noodle, you can call it a snoodle. So, in the winter, I guess that the appropriate lexicon for describing a noodle dragon, depending on their condition, would be either a fruidle or a snoodle. One of those two, a fruidle or snoodle. See, you learn something new every day, young ones. Let me see. And there's a Arabian Darkstone says this dragon is in its solid state. Well, I hope you're not in your completely solid state right now, Arabian Darkphone. I think you'd find it, if you're a solid state right now, you'd be sort of just like... And then it would not be a very fun time for you right now. So hopefully you're not completely solid all over. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about muscle, of course, then... But anyhow, yes. Let's see what else is going on right now. And Altor says nude-sickle. Now, Altor, you behave yourself. We have polite company in this stream right now. We don't want to be seeing any nudes right now. No nudes whatsoever. No nude-sickles. Let me see. And, what Thomas says, Thomas Ashley says, recovering from surgery to remove a tumor, and I still refuse to miss a Grumpystream. Well, I hope that the recovery has been well so far. I am very honored that you would, take that tumor and said, screw you, I need to see an old dragon ramble and talk and drink and say all sorts of nonsense and kick that tumor out. But, again, I hope that your recovery is smooth and quick. I feel very much honored that you enjoyed my stream, even under such circumstances. Thank you very much. And what else is going on here? Kenrick says, hey Tien, what is your thought on dragon hybrids and chimeras? Well, I don't really have too many thoughts about dragon hybrids and chimeras. After all, there are many different types of dragons, just as there are many different types of canines and many different types of felines. We're all part of the same family. It's just some of us with more distinguished features, of course. Eastern dragons being our very sort of profound manes that we carry on ourselves, very flowy, making us look a lot more handsome than we actually are. We have these whiskers as well. These are actually feelers that are very, very sensitive to moods, temperatures, and, of course, hostilities or, sort of social tensions or moods. And, well, other than that, I don't really have any feelings towards hybrids or chimeras of any sort. After all, they are what they are. Of course, they're not me, because it's good to be me, but they are what they are. Let me see what else is happening. And, Tien, look at Kage's link. Oh, I see Kage thinks about Uncle Kage. Let me see what is happening over here, if I can use this mouse. Alright, what's happening on the Twitters? I am going on the Twitters right now. You are not looking at my armpit. You are most definitely not looking at my armpit. Yes, and Uncle Kage has put out the tweet with the photo of what I had gotten him. Yes, I had gotten Uncle Kage 2 Stalin noodles, also known as stoodles. Of course, now you have 3 new noodle terms to use. You have fruidles, you have snoodles, and you have stoodles. What I had given Uncle Kage as a Christmas present was I gave him a pair of stoodles, Stalin noodles, as you may And, well, essentially, of course, he had been complaining about how a dragon keeps on drinking him out of house and home whenever he would visit down south in North Carolina. So I decided that he needed a suitable pair of wine guardians that would be at his disposal whenever he needed to protect his vulnerable wine. So I sent him two stoodles. So these stoodles are very useful for, you have the wine bottle and you just put the stoodle on it, and the stoodle just sort of sits there and looks all stoodly and all that. Stoodly or studly, one of the two. They look both of those. But yes, I decided that, well, of course, Uncle Kage, he would be very appreciative of having his wine not drunk by a dragon, at least not when he's not around. But, well, I hope that he enjoyed that gift. I found it very humorous when I saw it, and I knew that I just had to get that for him. Had to get that for him no matter what. Uh, Let me see what else. And I shall have to favorite and retweet that afterwards as well, of course. Um, Uncle Kage says you should look up Snoodle on Urban Dictionary. Uh, do I really want to? That seems like a bit of a trap for me. Urban Dictionary and Snoodle. I'm not going to do it. I will enlist one of you youngsters to do it because Urban Dictionary is for the young ones. It's not for the senior or dignified creatures such as myself. So you young ones, look it up for me and tell me what the Snoodle means on that. But yes, you have Fruitle, Snoodle, and Stoodle now. Stoodle is what the wine cork dragons are known as. Stoodles. And I have people saying, "Do it, I did it, just do it," and my eyes. Well, in that case, I shall, I will let you youngsters have your fun with Urban Dictionary and all of its horrors, and I will continue with my stream. Thank you very much. I've seen enough in my 9,000 plus years. I have seen enough that I am very well aware of the traps that can come with Urban Dictionary, so I will not try that, but thank you very much for the suggestion, Uncle Kage. Thank you very kindly. Anyhow, moving on. Um, Yes, I still see OMG, what don't do it, Tien. Like, my eyes are bleeding. Someone is like screaming internally right now. Actually, I'm pretty sure that most people are screaming externally. But yes, there's probably a few of you that are screaming internally, and that already sends a good enough message to me as to what not to look at. Urban Dictionary is not something that you should be looking at late into the night hours, or well into the night, that is, along with other websites such as, Creepypasta, another one, and whatever other youngster sites you look at. 9gag is another one. Those are the websites that will grab you, like, grab you and just hold on to you forever until your mind is filled with such nonsense and craziness that you are never able to find peace ever again. Let us see what else is happening while everyone is quickly going on Urban Dictionary. I can imagine right now Urban Dictionary is like, the servers are screaming internally themselves because suddenly, the search, the amount of requests it's getting is suddenly spiking all the way past the screen level, and then it sort of bulks up, and, well, I guess they can blame the stream for that, but Uncle Kage more so, because he was the one that told everyone to do it. Well, let us see, what else is going on? Um, and everyone is still talking about. Now I am interested. You see what you have done. Now you have piqued my curiosity, and an old dragon is now severely tempted to go on this Urban Dictionary and search up this so-called Snoodle because it seems that it's gotten everyone into a bit of a fuss right now. Let's see. What's everyone saying? Don't do it. Move on, guys. Drink sake. I'll take that advice. Drink sake. I am always one for drinking sake. So while you all horrify yourselves with Urban Dictionary, I shall continue to inebriate myself. Cheers to you, my friends. That was good stuff indeed. Anyhow, moving on. Has the audience moved on from the Urban Dictionary horrors yet? Um, no, they are still saying things like "do it" and "don't do it," and eyes cringing, and mouth is bleeding and foaming at the mouth, and someone probably needs an adult over there. Actually, we won't find many adults here. I do not consider myself an adult, because an adult would be one that has responsibilities and does things and is generally happy. I am past that point. I am very much a senior. Well, I wouldn't consider myself a grandpa, although many youngsters have called me that. Grr. But I am a senior. I'm a dignified senior. So someone in the chat probably needs an adult, and I will let them find that adult for their Urban Dictionary crime. Did I just hit something? Oh, I just kicked something over. Probably a small city or something. Alright, let's see what else these you youngsters have to be talking about. Google cheek break, something. I don't understand what is going on right now. Never piss off any dragon, Arabian says. Well, I do agree with that logic as well, especially when the dragons can easily demolish your city with a few steps. And Sharp asks, will you give is that Xiaolongbao? Yes, Xiaolongbao a hug this stream? Well, I suppose I could do that. Well, but let me get Xiaolongbao right now. Tell him to stop playing with that third dude. Alright, Xiaolongbao, get over here, you. Oh, this thing keeps on falling as well. There we are. I tried to make this a little more presentable for this edition of this stream. There we are. Alright, Xiaolongbao, you get to have your 10 seconds of fame. There we are. Xiaolongbao, you see how happy he is to be on the stream. That's his 10 seconds of fame. He doesn't get much. He doesn't get out often. Of course, he's been guarding my chair when he's gone. So there we are, Xiaolongbao. Alright, there's your hug, you thou go. There we are. Now he's rolled away to another dimension. Alright. What else is happening? Oh, don't care for ketchup myself, but I have other things to make humans palatable. Oh, well, I thought humans were ketchup packs. After all, would you take a little human and you sort of like squeeze them like you would with a ketchup pack? It has similar effects. But anyhow, moving on. Well, you see, us dragons, we being large and stuff, we know the effects of being clumsy and accidentally having a step or two on human populace. And, accidents happen. After all, I'm sure everyone here has seen a Godzilla movie or two. So you know that things happen. We can't help it, of course. And in the holiday season, well, and especially in Canada, all you have to do is, say, sorry, happy holidays, and everyone forgives you and moves on. What else is happening so far on the stream? Their bones are annoying, though, says Volt. That is true. Tossed into the next dimension, says Mike. Oh, well, that's what happens with Xiaolongbaos. You see, they don't really come from this world, nor the next, nor the worlds above or below us. They're sort of an anomaly in the terms of, this sort of creature, whatever animal kingdom there is, or creature kingdom that exists. They're sort of their own little tree, which only has really one node, and that node is just a bough. They are the species known as bough, and that is what he is part of. He is a bough species, and they sort of come from their own little dimension. I mean, after all, take a look at them. Get over here, you. I have to reach into the next dimension to get him. Yes. As if you take a look at Xiaolongbao, as you can see, he's sort of going new right now. This is when he goes new back and forth. This is when he is a grumpy, just as I am. You see, he learns from the best. So when he is doing this, you can see his anatomy is not really quite from this world. He's all round and stuff, and I'm really not sure what to make of this. I mean, he's just a species known as a bow, and you can't really find them much in this world. They're sort of like a legendary Pokemon, because you youngsters would get that reference. But yes, that is Xiao Long Bao. Alright, you into the other dimension you go. And of course he rolls back into this one. I'll deal with him later. Let us see what happens over here. How old are you again? Tien asks Zygar. Well, isn't there a description in the bottom of the stream right below this frame over here, Zygar? You should be able to see that. And of course the quip I made about birthdays, when after you pass a certain age you just don't keep track anymore. It's not worth keeping track. Alright, let me see. Tien's assistants are not taking his wine. That's what the wine thief does, says Indigo Ryu. Well, that is true, except on this particular occasion, especially in the holiday season, I would actually prefer if I had good company, and in particular, good company that knows how to share and properly drink good spirits. Unfortunately, I know that most of you are not within the realms of Canada, also known as the Great White North. Most of you are spread out, far-flung all over the world, whether you're down under or you're up top, whatever up top is, I don't know. Use your imagination. I would love to have invited all of you over for, some holiday celebrations and some festive drinks. But again, all of you are so far away, and it would be impossible to gather everyone to one place to have just a simple get-together. As one of the other furry images goes, I don't know where it was posted. There's some sort of, furry meme or something. You have friends all over the world. That's one of the advantages of being in the furry fandom. But the disadvantage is your friends are all over the world. Well, of course, there's always next time. And of course, if you see me at a convention, just like many of you did at Midwest Fur Fest, please do not feel afraid to make my acquaintance. I would be very happy to meet you. Especially if you have one of these to present to me, I would be very much inclined to meet you. Yes, especially with the extra Canadianness. Alright, putting that back over there. Let's see how much I have left in this snowman cup over here. I've got a little bit left. I'll finish this off and have myself a refill. I realize that some of you may still be playing the Wine Thief drinking game, and I still haven't said Wine Thief enough this stream. Well, actually, I've just said it twice now that I think about it, so that is 2 drinks. So, well, I'll see if I can keep that going. I know that some of you were like, oh, Tien, you no longer refer to him as the Wine Thief. Why is that? Well, simply because at this point, we've come to sort of a tacit agreement where, he would have his wine moments and I would have my wine moments, and then we both have our wine moments together, which are the streams that we have together on his wine stream, or perhaps in the future my grumpy stream. And then, of course, well, we just sort of respect each other's boundaries until one of us runs out of wine, and then, well, just like the wolf going over to his neighbor and asking for some sugar. That's what happens when you mess with dragons. Let me see what else. Something. Exactly what I did at Confuzzled, though slightly lacking in the Canadian. Well, you are forgiven when you are at Confuzzled. Actually, when I was at Confuzzled, I rather enjoyed seeing sort of the different, the different cultures of Europe coming together. And in particular, the whole British culture, the entire English sort of, prim and properness that I had come to expect when I had visited Confuzzled and England in general, and I very much enjoyed it when I had, had people coming up to me and they were all polite and stuff, and they were all very quaint, and they were all, and they were all very, very sort of, understating everything. If you ever, if you're on Twitter, and I take this from my human slave, if you're on Twitter, there is a Twitter account which happens to be one of my favorites, as well as my human slaves, called Very British Problems. If you look at it right now on Twitter, Very British Problems, it is one of my favorite accounts on Twitter because it so accurately captures all of the little nuances and the little hilarities of the English culture. In particular, all of the sort of understatements that the English like to make because, of course, they want to be polite, but really they just want to call you an asshole. But, one of my favorite one, I believe, being, it didn't go as planned, where they really mean to say, oh my god, I just started World War III, or something like that. Something to that degree. But yes, very, very much enjoyable in terms of the culture, as well as the politeness that I had received at Confuzzled. Unfortunately, next year, I do not think that Confuzzled will be in the cards for me, mainly because I like to sort of keep my horizons expanded as much as possible, and now my sights are set on Eurofurence in 2017. So if you shall be attending Eurofurence in Berlin, Germany, I will hope to be there. I have started making all the necessary preparations, and well, it will be a new experience, to say the least, for Dragon. Eurofurence, of course, being the sort of the Anthrocon of Europe, that large portion of the world. That is the Anthrocon of that side of the world. And I know that both the wine thief, Uncle Kage, as well as many other of my good friends, such as Grandma as well, Grandma Kage, they all make the trip there every year, as much as they can, because, well, Eurofurence is a fantastic time for everybody. So I shall hope to be there next year, and if you are going to be there next year, I shall hope to make your acquaintance. I feel bad that I laid out all these ornaments here, and I'm not using them well. I've got quite a few of these sort of culturally appropriate ornaments. Let me see if I can do something about them. I don't really know. That one can't really be hung. But, well, let me see. Perhaps I can put one around my ear. Oh, that's not my ear. There we are. Put around my ear like that. Now I've got earrings. There we are. See, I'm sort of like a Christmas tree dragon now. I'm a tree dragon. I'm a tragon. Not a dragon. I am a tragon. I'm a tree dragon. There we are. Now I look like I have earrings of sorts, and I feel that much more ridiculous, especially now that I've got these things dangling at the sides of my face. Forget these ornaments. Why did I think it was a good idea to be festive anyways? I'm better off at being irritable and grumpy and all sorts of badness and madness. I shall keep the hat on. Oh, wrong side. I shall keep the hat on here for now, though, as it seems to be the only thing that I can really tolerate that is remotely festive, and, well, it doesn't seem to be falling off yet, but we shall see how far we get until it does. Let us see what else is happening right now. Trottle Bear says it's my first experience. I am a con virgin. Well, I was going to make a comment about that, but I don't think I should, especially in polite company. So I shall refrain from doing so. But I hope that I lost my train of thought there. But yes, con virgin. Yes, very nice. Hopefully no longer sooner. But I'm losing my train of thought and my power of communication here. Yes, because English is hard luck. What else is happening as well? Hey Tien, matcha or raw green tea? You have to pick just one. Oh, well, I am an old school dragon, of course, with my age as well as my tradition. I am more used to raw green tea, unfortunately. The matcha stuff, as enjoyable as it is in, various confections such as matcha green tea cookies and whatnot, when I have my tea, I like to stick with something a little bit more traditional, or at least something that I personally believe to be a little more pure. So raw green tea takes my pick. I like that a little bit better. Let's see, what else is happening? And Warrior says, have to get to bed, Tien. I have work tomorrow. Happy holidays. Well, I thought you were going to stay around for the drawings, Warriors. I apologize if I was not able to get to them anytime soon. I usually do not do my drawings until about an hour and a half to 2 hours into the stream. But I hope you have a pleasant evening, Warriors, and try not to stress yourself over work. I know that many of my acquaintances and friends in the States, as well as all around the world, are currently stressed because of the holiday season. Of course, everyone has to prepare, everyone has to work overtime and make sure that the holiday seasons run smoothly as possible so that they can all enjoy their time off. But do remember to relax every once in a while and just enjoy the festivities and the season for what it is. What else is happening over here? And Dimitri says it's a bit of a Scrooge Dirk, honestly. Well, I share some of that sentiment, Dimitri, mainly because, well, I've seen sort of the evolution, of course I have with my age, but I've seen sort of the many evolutions of, well, sort of the Christmas spirit, where it didn't really become so much Christmas spirit as it became sort of the shopping, materialistic frenzy spirit, really. And nowadays we have all the children running around with their fancy iPhone 20s and their Nintendo 300 DSs and whatever other technologies that they have. I don't know. I'm an old dragon. I'm just guessing at this point. And they really don't understand what the concept of Christmas should be, or was, rather. And yes, you can call me old school, and I will take that term gladly, because that's what I am. I am old, and I will school you, yo. But, yeah, these little youngsters, these little brats running around thinking that, the little handheld things are the only thing that matter about this season. Those are the type of brats that I enjoy stepping on most. That is my little tirade for the evening, simply because it sort of matches with the holiday season as well. This is how easy it is to forget what the holiday seasons and basically winter and Christmas is all about as well. It's a stark reminder of what we have to hold close to us, and that being everyone that we have around us. Of course, the only thing a dragon has to hold close to him is his mug, his little snowman mug over here, that still has a little bit of sake, so I shall hold that close to me at the moment, and I shall continue to drink this snowman dry, because this snowman loves it. Ha! Shall be time for a refill soon. This is quite a bit. This is quite a big bottle over here. Of course, it's a Canadian bottle. Now it is a Canadian sake now, as you can see. Actually, it's sort of not aligned properly. There we are. It is a Canadian sake, as you can see. So of course the Canadians, because they're all lumberjackish and whatnot, they like to jack their lumber, but they also like to drink quite a bit. After all, the Canadian heritage is a blend of many European heritages, but all of them being avid fans of alcohol. So of course they did everything big, and well, it will take me some time, I believe, before I'm able to cut this down to size. But I'm not complaining. After all, that means more booze for a dragon. All right. There we are. Mine! All right then. And now with that refill, I shall wish another happy holidays and a warm season for all of you. Cheers, my friends. And, you see, it has a very profound effect on the dragon. And it's also a very easy way to keep warm during the winter holidays as well. Feeling a little chilly? Have just a have a glass or two of whatever your favorite drink is, no matter whether it's cold or hot, and suddenly you'll find yourself with some affordable central heating. I recently discovered that term, affordable central heating, where basically it's like, you take something like coffee or hot chocolate, whatever your favorite wintertime drink is, and when you drink it, it provides you a good, sort of internal heat source whenever you go out in the cold. But that effect runs out very fast, very easily. Whereas I find that whatever your favorite alcoholic drink is, however, as long as you don't have anything important to do, that actually provides very, very affordable central heating versus, well, I don't know, having to replace several $1,000s of a heating system. Of course, some people might not think the same, but for a dragon, especially an Asian dragon, I like to think a little bit cheaper. Let me see, what else is happening with my audience so far? And Indigo Ryu says, I would also like to visit Canada. A co-worker of mine has been working there a year, and he has spoken high words of Canada. Well, I don't know what sort of high words, nor what sort of, status that Canada has right now in terms of a reputation. I know that, for one, the political leader of Canada has basically reduced himself to a meme of sorts. Well, of course, he has participated in many memes, and intentionally as well. So, other than that, I'm not really quite sure what people think of Canada. All I know, of course, is, well, of that little Canadian, wine gift over there, the little wine sleeve and the wine cap that is 100% extra Canadian. But other than that, I'm not quite sure what else can be spoken highly of Canada. Perhaps I was going to say poutine, but I know quite a few people that are offended. Yes, offended by the idea of poutine because, well, just the name of it itself, poutine. Yes, do you want to eat some poutine? Yes, and I know that, of course, the name does not actually represent what it looks like unless you get it, of course, from some cheap place like McDonald's or something where they actually do serve poutine. But some people are completely offended by the thought that you would, drown a batch of, fresh made fries in beef gravy and cheese curds or something like that. Long story short, before I get into any sort of rambles, I don't know what sort of reputation Canada has right now, but I do know that the people here at least apologize for what they do. If they steal your wine, they at least say sorry as they steal it. Yes, they'll be taking your wine and they'll just be like, oh, sorry, sir, sorry, mate, sorry. And they'll go away and with your wine and they'll drink all of your wine while saying sorry between each gulp. Perhaps that's why people think we're so nice, because we just say sorry to everything. Let me see what else is happening. Shop asks, Tien, where can you get sake? Well, Shop, you can get sake at virtually any decent or reputable liquor store that you can find. Even if you go into, a big chain or something of the sort. If you go into, say, a Maya's grocery store, or you go into, one of those big Walmart superstores with those big sections of alcohol, or wherever you are located, and you have yourself any decent liquor store, they should have an imported section or an East Asian section where you will find, at least a decent selection of sake. Now, when I say decent, I do not mean brands such as, Shochikubai or Gekkaikan or the lower grades of Hakutsuro or, some of the other ones, if it's made in America as well. So if you see other sake such as G sake, which is made in Oregon or something of the sort, don't pick those up. Try to look for something that at least looks like it's reputable, and if not, then the local sommelier should know at least a thing or two about recommending a sake to you. Let me see what else is happening. Flashhound asks, Jen, what is the next FurCon that you are going to? Well, right now, the next confirmed fur convention that I will be at is Fernal Equinox. Fernal Equinox, which is Canada's largest furry convention. It happens March 17th to 19th. It is now in a new venue, which is the Western Harbor Castle, which is one of the finest hotels I have seen suited for a convention. Many well-known figures in the fandom will be there, including Uncle Kagi. Uh, in terms of next potential FurCons that I will be at, I may possibly be at First Squared in Wisconsin in February. However, this is a big maybe, seeing as how the travel times from my city to Wisconsin are a little bit iffy, as well as the fact that it is a little close in proximity to Fernal Equinox, and, well, 3 weeks between conventions is a bit of a stretch, especially for one that has to take responsibility at conventions such as myself. So we shall see about First Squared, but for a guarantee, Fernal Equinox. After that, I will be attending Motor City Furry Convention in Detroit, Michigan. That is in April, the first weekend of April. So if not at Fernal Equinox, then you shall find me at Motor City FurCon. Let us see what else is happening. And Uncle Kagi says, American sake, ... parentheses, Earth. Yes. I had that one stream early on when I was just starting out my wines, my grumpy streams, not my wine streams. I have a bad habit of doing that, trying to, say live streams or grumpy streams, but it comes out as a wine stream instead. I guess it's because each and every time I say it, I'm eyeing my sake off camera over there. But yes, there was that one grumpy stream I had when I was first starting out these streams, where I had G Saki from Oregon. Let's not talk about that experience. I've tried to remove it from my memory. And with that, I think I'll have another sip of the real sake. Thank you very much, my friends. I'm actually going through this bottle a lot faster than I imagined. I don't know whether or not I will have to break this out tonight. Of course, again, for those of you that recognize this or know what bottle this is, of course, I don't know if you can see the text, but perhaps there's someone in the chat that might be able to tell you what it is. All right, I shall leave that over there for now. And let's see over here. Dun. Tien Long, are you related to Jake Long, the American Dragon? I am not related to Jake Long. Long is the standard name for anyone that is a dragon. Long, in translation, is literally dragon. Whether you say it in Mandarin or Cantonese, either one, or even other languages also have Long as the dragon. It is just a standard name to identify one as part of the dragon family. But of course, we Asians and we Celestials in particular, our family networks are very long and long-winded, and yes, you see what I did there? They're very long. Anyhow, they're very large and very long-winded, and well, of course, having the same last name does not necessarily mean that we are cousins, perhaps distant cousins. But well, I cannot say I am of any sort of direct relationship with American Dragon Jake Long. All I know is that, well, he's not quite upgraded to a Celestial Dragon yet, so when he gets on my level, that's right, Jake Long has to get on my level, bro. When he gets to my level, then perhaps he and I can talk. I see. Tien, I hope to see you at First Squared and maybe even perform in Whose Line if you are there. Well, we'll see about what happens in terms of first squared. Again, as I've said, I would love to make it to first squared, and I am able to in terms of shinies, but it's just the timing of things that is sort of throwing me off at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. I did enjoy being part of the Who's Line at Indie FurCon. For those of you that have not seen it yet, there's a recording of Who's Lion at Indie FurCon that I believe Silver Gatomon had taken, as well as perhaps one or two other people. But Silver Gatomon, if you'd like to throw that link up, you're more than welcome to. But there, I participated in a Who's Lion event at Indie FurCon this past year, or this year rather, and it was quite an amusing event and one I would bleh, one that I would love to do. One that I would love to do again. What else is happening over here? Let's see. Something. EF will likely be my only con this coming year. Maybe ScotiaCon, but that's very uncertain. Well, it's not really about the quantity, of course, it's all about the quality, and I'm a firm believer of that. As a dragon that goes to 6 or 7 conventions every year, perhaps even more, but 6 or 7 is about my average. I would say that you really need to find at least one convention that is worth your time making that trip over and over again. Whether, it be a small convention or a big convention, it matters not the quantity in which you go to, but rather the quality. If it's that one small convention that you absolutely love, the hotel or the staff or the attendees or the events that happen, then that is more than enough in my opinion. And well, it frankly helps build the anticipation leading up to the event, and with that anticipation comes a bigger reward. After all, those that are patient are rewarded as such. That being said, at your friends, I know that I'll be rewarded with quite a few offerings at the bar, which I absolutely cannot wait for. Anyhow, yes, presenting myself, yes, must be regal and all that. Yes, in a piece, in a piece, in a piece. But that bar at your friends, though. Anyhow, moving on. Oh, hey there, I'm sorry if this offends you. That message scrolled by as it offended me, or at least it apparently offended me. Well, I am not offended by whatever message was intended to offend me, or at least unintentionally offend me, but, very good, carry on. Something. Have you met Sniper at MFF? Asks Bruzo Dragonius. I have, Bruzo. I have met Sniper, although not in this form. When Sniper, as well as myself, were a little bit out of character, so to say, we did indeed meet. We have chatted a bit, and we've gone to know one another. She is a very, very sweet fellow. And it is good to see her around the conventions, especially when she's doing that, all the youngster dancing stuff, when she's, doing all the oons, dance stuff. And, well, perhaps maybe later on in the stream I'll indulge the crowd a little bit with some dance. We'll see what happens. And let me see, I owe you a drink at EF2, Tien, just like for a silly Siberian dragon with a massive smile. Well, here's what I will look for. Do you remember that picture that Uncle Kagi posted earlier about the strudel, the Stalin noodle? Well, I will look for a strudel. And if you look like a strudel, then I will allow you the pleasure of buying a drink at your friends. I shall look for a strudel, I shall. Let us see what else is happening. Pretty much was something from Uncle Kagi, says Altorio. I'm not sure what that said. That scrolled by a little too fast. And as a dragon that is old with a bad back and the mouse all the way over there, the mousey, I am not inclined to scroll back up for it. And one of the things that I do not like about this new interface I have to work with is that I cannot really expand this chat box, making it all the more difficult to see what people are saying, hence why I'm leaning in like this so much. What else are people saying? Something, something, something. YouTube by default, I believe, doesn't allow you to post links. Says, I believe that was Silver Gothamon. Well, I believe that on certain conditions they can allow you to post links, but at the moment I am not really inclined nor have the knowledge to fix whatever problems there may be with posting links in the comment box. Perhaps it's the anti-spam filter I've posted, and perhaps YouTube recognizes outside links as spam for one reason or another. As well, I don't like it when I have random people entering my stream and posting, paragraphs copy pasted from Wikipedia or something of the sort. That is purely annoying, and I would rather not have that. Hence the anti-spam filter right now. And spam is bad. Spam, 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 spam. I do not like spam, not in my meat, not in my morning noodles, and nothing. Let me see. No spam allowed, Bat. Yes, my big brother says it right. Or rather, my big brother's cousin. Yes, Dark Lurker, as you can see, Dark Lurker over there, he is my big brother's distant cousin. Remember how I said that, us Longs had big family trees and all that? Dark Lurker is Tien Long's, distant cousin from his mother's uncle's, son's something twice removed. Yes, that's the family relation. That's the family relation right there. The trivia will be soon. Don't worry. Let me see. I think it's just a setting you can check or uncheck, says Silvergothamon. Well, I could check or uncheck it, but, well, I don't want to. Not right now, at least. Perhaps for the next stream. Although it's sort of surprising, although not surprising at the same time, that YouTube would not allow its own links to be posted on YouTube, especially if it's not spam at all. After all, well, I don't suppose YouTube would recognize me requesting a link be put up, but we'll work on it for the next time. Yes, and Volt Ashcore says it's a long story. Very good, Volt, very good. You are learning from a celestial dragon. After all, it is a long story. Let us see. Altario says, well, I think some spam had snuck in before. Someone fishing for subs. They're not sure. But some person who seemed pretty salty about not getting attention. Well, that is why I have two moderators that are attending to my chat box and my stream needs at the moment. One being my big brother's cousin, Dark Lurker, and the other one being Uncle Kagi himself. And perhaps in the future I shall add more moderators as I see fit, but at the same time I trust that those two will be more than enough for my current needs, because, well, both of them are as grumpy as I am at certain times, so they do know what a grumpy dragon would look for in terms of moderating the chat. So be warned, because they have the ban hammer ready. They have the hammer that will ban you, or that will at least make you go quiet for a moment if you are posting spam, 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 spam all over. Let me see. Yes, and Dark Lurker has equipped his Banhammer. His Banhammer gives him plus 10 strength and plus 1,000 banning power, of course. Yes, and Dark Lurker, as Volt has sort of alluded to, Dark Lurker is also a very large dragon. Most dragons in general are large. It sort of goes without saying, but he is also a very large dragon, so if the banhammer doesn't work, then he'll just step on you, such as I would. Again, you see, us grumpy dragons, we sort of, we understand one another, and we take tips from one another as well. Let's see what else is happening so far. Indigo says if maybe they eat Soylent Green, I wonder where the humans are. Well, I'm not quite sure. The humans seem to have ignored the stream or have moved on after they saw a dragon on the stream. I don't know what it is about these humans and being so insistent on being afraid of dragons. We're really not that scary, are we? We might be big and imposing, and sometimes we might accidentally step on a building or two, or burninate your whole town like Trogdor does. But we dragons really aren't that imposing. We don't try to be, at least. We sort of just can't help it. We're dragons after all. We didn't ask to be dragons, but heck, we rolled a 20 when it came to species selection. So we rolled a 20 and well, humans rolled a 1, so such to be done. Let me see. I'm not teasing anyone, bartender. Someone is saying teasing. I'm not doing any sort of teasing whatsoever. Oh, well, so far, actually, I haven't kept tabs on the time so far. It is 7:28, if I'm reading that correctly. It is 7:28. Goodness, it's been an entire 90 minutes so far, almost 90 minutes, since the stream had begun. I had not actually realized that. It seems that this Tatenokawa 50 has some time-altering properties, or at least altering the perceptions of time. It seems that every sake has its own special property that it helps alter some form of perception. Perhaps it's just a dragon thing, but then again, I have been enjoying sake for many thousands of years, so I would notice such things over time. But almost like it is in a video game, different sakes have different properties that alter different perceptions. For example, one of the sakes that I have on a regular basis, whenever I can find it, is the Dasai 50. That is the lower grade version of this bottle right here. This is the Dasai 23. The 23 being the, I believe, the second best version of the Dasai family. I believe they have one grade better than this. But I have the Dasai 50 on a somewhat occasional basis, and that one helps alter my perception of space. In particular, it makes big things seem a lot bigger, and it makes small things seem a lot smaller. And then this particular sake that I am drinking, the Tatenokawa 50, perhaps it has some sort of +5, time perception attribute increase or something like that, where it makes time seem to speed up. Or rather, it makes a dragon's rambling speed up, or something along those lines. I'm not quite sure. Alrighty, let's go back to what my audience has to say. Sake power up, drunkenness +10. Well, drunkenness +10, that's for every single time I take a sip of my sake, of course. Oh, my pinky finally went up. I had not noticed that all night long, but my pinky did not slowly go up like that until I had a sip of wine. I guess that must mean that it is close to that time, of course, close to that time where I must take this pinky and I must do all of my Patreon drawings for it. And for this edition of the stream, I'm not sure how many of you caught the announcement, but this edition of my Grumpystream, I was offering a bit of a special for all of my patrons who are pledging at least $10 or more. For $10 or more in this edition of the Grumpystream, they would receive the $25 reward, which was what was it? Which was yes, me having a doodle for them. Yes, me doodling for them in the terrible form that I always doodle in. So my new patrons for this stream, well, I thank you very much for your support once again, and I hope that you don't mind my lack of artistic skills while I reward you for your patronage, and I do hope that you continue also supporting as well afterwards. But we shall get to the drawings shortly. I want to see what else is happening before we get to that. Briggs Buckingham asks, am I getting Thursday drunk yet? Well, I don't think I am, Briggs. Briggs Buckingham I had crossed paths with several times at Midwest Furfest, and being the sweet fellow he is, not only did he have an offering of sake for me, which I have enjoyed very much immensely, thank you very much, Briggs, but he had also gotten me another small gift to go with the sake, something I found very amusing and very appropriate for a dragon such as myself. And that little... I've got it. Alright. That little gift is over here. Of course, being a noodle dragon, especially a noodle dragon in the north, we don't really have too many other noodle dragons, so Briggs Buckingham thought it would be appropriate that he got me a little accompanying noodle dragon over here. I don't know if you can see the noodle dragon here. He's sort of in the dark and whatnot, but for those of you that are familiar with your Disney characters, of course, this is Mushu. I don't know if you can see him better in the light over here, but this here fellow is Mushu from the movie Mulan. And of course, he is Mulan's sidekick, played by Eddie Murphy. And, well, he is also a noodle dragon. He is quite a small noodle dragon. He used to be a big noodle dragon, but then I guess he got demoted to a small one. You see, this is what happens when you don't do your job. You had one job, Mushu! But, yes, I have a Mushu now. He sort of provides the comic relief whenever I'm stressing out over something, some human business, perhaps. But I received that from Briggs at Midwest Furfest, and it's been sitting guarding my one of my monitors that I'm using right now ever since then. So thank you very much again, Briggs. It was a very kind and thoughtful gift. Well, what else is happening right now? A bottle of sake with extra noodles, says Briggs. That is correct. That is very much correct. It was a bottle of Taikyu Junmai Ginjo, which is a very decent sake. Of course, I don't want any of my supporters or my fans breaking the bank for me, but a Taikyu Junmai Ginjo is more than enough for a celestial dragon, especially a cheap drunk like me. And, of course, with that came the extra noodles to make sure that I had a drinking buddy. You see, that is a thoughtful gift right there as well. That where you know that an old dragon such as myself, we tend to drink alone and we sort of mope and sulk because we drink alone. And although we have most of the sake to ourselves, you know, we sort of wish that we had someone to share it with because, well, it is a golden rule of any good drunkard is you never drink alone. And, well, he gave me a drinking buddy in the form of a noodle, so I am very, very appreciative of that. And of course, other gifts that are also very thoughtful include being extra Canadian as well. So you see how Canadian this is too, and I can sort of put it on my muzzle and I can pretend to be extra Canadian, but I don't feel like it, so I shall leave that for my sake to be extra Canadian. But I digress. Let's see what else is happening over here. Am I the only human here? Also, Tien, what do you think of humans in general, says Rohan the werewolf. Well, I don't know if you're the only human here, Rohan, but certainly you're the only one that is confused as to why you may be the only human here. Everyone else seems to just acknowledge that fact tacitly, and they sort of just deal with it. But, of course, being part of the community that we are, especially a community that separates sort of being outside of our regular identities and regular selves, I think it's safe to say that, well, no one here wants to be sort of their boring old selves. No one would prefer to be their boring old selves. As for what I think about humans, well, what I think about humans, they have their uses, particularly when they're soaked in sriracha sauce. Yes, that. They have their uses, especially when that. Let me see what else is happening. Perhaps I shall get into the drawings a little soon. It is now... Wait, is it only now 7:28? It is only now 7:28. I was reading that clock completely wrong. So I guess that this sake does not give me good time perception skills. Rather, it gives me -5 time perception skills. But, well, can't beat them. So, we shall continue going on until, well, let's say a few minutes more, and then we shall switch to the drawing section. This stream I do have a few more drawings than I usually do, of course, because I have that whole December special happening. And as a public service announcement, I am not currently looking at anyone who is sending me extra drawings or sending me an extra donation to get a drawing done. So if you would like a drawing, perhaps wait till later after the drawing segment is done to send me your whatever it is, and then we'll have a talk about it. I don't like doing things spontaneously or on the spot, so we shall reserve the drawing spot for those that have already subscribed and paid prior to the stream start. Let me see. Arabian says you don't need to ought to be a furry, Fernando, and that is completely correct. To be a furry, you simply just need to be a fan of the culture. You do not need to be an artist. You do not need to be a costumer or a stand-up comic or a drunkard or all four of those at all. You don't need to be any of those. Most furries, in fact, are just everyday people who happen to have an appreciation for the imagination and the artistry that comes with, say, a walking, talking, well-dressed wolf or something of that sort. Perhaps they just imagine, what would life be like if Tony the Tiger were an actual person or an actual tiger walking on two legs and talking like he does in commercials. So, you do not need to be an artist of any sort to be a furry. Do not worry. We are very, very open-minded and very sort of broadly defined group of individuals. Let's see what else. The noodle dragon doodles yummy noodles. Try saying that 5 times fast. The noodle dragon doodles yummy noodles. The noodle. I need another drink. There we are. All right, you. I'm going to drink you so hard. There we are. I drunk you so hard. There we are. All right. Let's take a few more things, and then we shall have ourselves a very brief intermission, as I usually do now, and then afterwards we shall move on to the drawing portion of our stream. More things, more things. After Tigergate, I think that he's not the best example, says Altori. Well, that may be true, but it's the first one that came to mind, although I will agree with you that it is not the best example to use, because, of course, as the saying goes, furries ruin everything, and by gosh, they do ruin absolutely everything. I will not get into that, because that could be an entire 3-hour stream on its own, so in light of, well, not in light, but for the sake of this current stream, I shall not bore everyone to death with that. Alright. Kenrick says, "Hey Tien, I'm making a furry family and I was wondering if you would like to join as my grandfather." Well, Kenrick, I appreciate the offer, but as it is, I am pretty much a grandfather for the entire fandom at the moment, so I don't believe that it would be appropriate to reserve myself to one single family right now, but of course I don't even like considering myself a grandfather or a grandpa of any sort. I am simply just a senior. I am a senior in the furry fandom in the terms of age, of course, being a 9,000-plus-year-old dragon. I lost count after the 9,000 mark, so I just say it's over 9,000. But I am a senior for this. I am a senior for the fandom, so I cannot really reserve myself for any particular family. But of course, you're more than welcome to consider me. I guess consider me a friend. After all, in this furry fandom, we're one big family of friends. At least I like to think, of course. My sister can draw well, though. She made anthropomorphic version of me as my favorite Pokemon. Well, isn't that very sweet, Fernando? And, well, I hate to say it, but if you already have an anthropomorphic version of yourself as a Pokemon, you're basically part of the club. You had your chances to run before you got into this mess, but now you're one of us now, and as all the furries would start chanting, one of us, one of us, one of us. But fear not, Fernando, we are a very polite and generous and open-minded group. And Pokemon, of course, is a very major factor of many of today's generations of furries. So not to worry. You're amongst friends here. Ah, you're amongst a drunken dragon here with his audience, who apparently enjoys watching him drink and talking a lot. So you're amongst a drunken old fart and his audience members here. Cheers to you, all my friends. All right. I think it's about that time where I now take a brief intermission for just a few minutes while I adjust the camera angles and take care of whatever else I need, and then get to the drawings and whatnot. So, in that case, I shall quickly put on that same Christmas music that I had found. By the way, did you notice how the introduction music was a little darker and a little more, Christmas appropriate now? I thought about putting some happier Christmas music on, but of course, being that apparently imposing dragon, standing up and being like, "Oh, look at me! I am, Krampus. I am the Krampus of Christmas," or something of the sort. I decided that having a little bit of an ominous Christmas mood would suit my stream a little better. So, in that case, I shall put that music on again, and I shall quickly have an intermission, but when we return, we shall proceed with all of the Grumpystream drawings for this edition. I shall be right back. Give me one moment. Alright, let's see what we can do in terms of setting up my new little tripod, in terms of doing the drawings and whatnot. I seem to have all these troubles with technologies each and every time that I try to set up a new camera system. I don't really have a good system yet in terms of doing my Grumpystream drawings, but we'll leave it at that. That looks good enough. Alright, let me go over here and look at a list of things. Look at the list of people. I am going by random order this time, and of course, for those of you that are new here, if you have any comments or questions about things, it is best to reserve them until after the drawings, as I am currently not looking at the comment section right now. I am busy doing the drawings, as well as making sure that I am not completely messing up the drawing requests of my dear patrons. Alright, now, and yes, we have to have the obligatory candy cane here to replace the festivity of my holiday hat, which is now off camera. Alright, well, let me point this down a little bit more. Is that going to hold? Perhaps I'll hold it down with my feet. There we are. Hold it down. Oh, that's not going to work. Is it going to work like that? I'll hold it down like this. That works good enough. Alright. The first drawing request that I have, again, this is by random order. This is simply the emails that I am looking at right now. The first drawing request I have is from a new patron by the name of Trufflebear. This camera is not playing nicely with me at the moment. Oh, come on, camera, come on, you don't be fussing around with me now. Camera's having some issues keeping its head right now. Let's see if I can wedge this back in. Alright, it's going to be a bit skewed, but we'll work with this. We'll work with this right here. Alright, so the first request is from Trufflebear, who would like me to draw a bear licking a tiger. Well, a bear licking a tiger. I suppose I can see what I can do about a bear licking a tiger. Alright, well, I'm not sure if this was a sort of collab with Silent Dawn in any way, but, we'll see what we can do. Alright. A bear licking a tiger. Well, first, I'm going to draw the tiger. I'm going to draw the bear first, so we'll have the bear over here. There we are. And bears have big snouts over here, big snouts, something like that. And we've got these little round ears that make them so adorable. We'll give them a little fluff at the top as well. There we are, and we have the bear's short muzzle, and he's got his tongue, which is sticking out there. There we are. And perhaps we'll give it a few splash marks. There we are. Splash marks from the very drooly tongue that the bear's got. There we are. So that's the bear, and of course the bear has to be licking a tiger. So let's make him holding the tiger over here. He's holding the tiger so hard. Yes, he is holding him so hard over here. I shall draw his arms, his bearish arms over here. And inside we have to have a tiger, so I'll try not to draw Silent Dawn. I'm not sure if that's his thing or not, but I don't judge, of course. It's a judgment-free zone. And over here we have the tiger, and the tiger over here is... he's a little surprised, to say the least. Alright, so over here we've got the tiger. And the tiger is, well, he's seen better days, that's for sure. He's seen drier days, because right now he's getting the stuffing. He's getting the stripes positively licked off. Why is the camera down there? Camera, hello, camera. You're supposed to be pointing over there. You're not supposed to be pointing at my star. Anyhow, yes. Let's see if I can stick this back on. Excuse me for a moment while we have technical difficulties happening. Um, I'm not wearing anything down there, but I assure you there's nothing to see. You do not want to. Excuse me a moment. We seem to be having some camera difficulties. I think my camera's already gone to Thursday quicker than I did. Excuse me a moment while I correct this. Excuse me while I put my loading screen on for a moment. All right. While I put that screen up, I will quickly attempt to fix this camera because apparently my camera is at Thursday. Let me see what I can find here that will help. Alright, perhaps this will help. I don't know if it actually will, we'll have to see. There we are. Oh, there goes my fan. Alright, as everyone knows, there are three things that hold this world together, one of them being tape. Lots of duct tape, in fact, and, well, I think for a job like this, we will require a copious amount of duct tape, which I certainly do have. I apologize for this, unexpected camera difficulty. There you go, put it there, recalibrate it there. Tape it around there, hold it there, make sure that it's not showing a dragon's unnice parts, of course. There's nothing to see there. Nothing that people should see there. Nothing that you youngsters want to see anyhow. We wish you a grumpy Christmas. We wish you a grumpy Christmas. Is that going to hold? Alright, let me try it once again. At least not falling over drastically. Alright. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm coming. Alright, thank you. Thanks to the magic of tape, I have managed to re-secure my little plastic webcam thingy. There we are. I have managed to re-secure my camera thingy. Yes, there's my foot over there. Onto my rig. There we are. Yes, because of course we all know that tape is one of the three elements that hold this world together. The other two being WD-40 and good old hammer. So, whoa, yes, we were drawing a bear licking a tiger. So before you all had that indecent view of my crotch, we were drawing a bear licking a tiger. So there we are. We have the bear here. We have the tiger here. And the tiger's got his bubble limbs, of course, and the tiger is, well, the tiger, again, he's seen better days. So has my camera, apparently, but today my camera reached Thursday faster than I did. So we've got the tiger here. There we go. We've got a little bow-long tiger. We've got another bow in the midst here. Bow-long tiger, and of course the tiger must have stripes on its tail and all that. I'm not sure what relation this tiger has to Silent Dawn, but again, it might be a collab. I'm not sure. There we are. More stripes, more stripy stripes. There we are. Dun, 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 dun. And of course, the bear's all like, He's like, stripes. There we are. So we have the bear licking the tiger, And perhaps it's going to be underneath a mistletoe, because of course this is the holiday season after all, so we must make everything relative to the festivities of what is happening right now. There we are. So the bear is licking the tiger underneath the mistletoe tonight. I'm not sure that's how the song goes, but well, whatever. We can remix it. It seems to be the popular thing that kids do these days, is remixing everything. So that is for Turtle Bear. So over here I will write for Turtle Bear. I hope I'm spelling that right. And then I shall put Tien Long La. There we are. That is for Turtle Bear from Tien Long La. Oh, I'll add a Christmas tree as well, because of course this is the festive season, so perhaps I shall add something a little festive for everyone's drawings as well. Of course, for all of my new patrons that had subscribed to my Patreon for this particular edition, I'm not sure if you had seen all of my other Grumpy streams prior to subscribing, but you all know that I have absolutely zero artistic talent, and this is about the quality of drawing that you are going to get. So, well, you paid for it and you asked for it. You have paid for a bear licking a tiger being mailed to you after the stream. So, bah, there you go. That is for you, Turtle Bear. Alright, moving on. I hope none of you are still talking about that unexpected crotch shot that I had just now. That would be most undignified of all of you. Let me just... Alright, I'll leave that over there. Alright. Next one up is... Let me see, I believe I am actually going with the newer patrons at the moment. Alright, next one up over here. We have... let me see if I could draw me and you drinking some beers. We have Hygnus. We have Hygnus Barnrath. I'm not sure if I am saying that correctly. And they also say, greetings from Brazil. Well, greetings from the Great White North. Let me see. Hygnus would like me to draw me and you drinking some beers. And they've sent me a ref, and it is another bear. Well, I am going to do my best to see if I can draw you and I drinking. I'm not sure if I would be one to drink beers, but, well, drinking nonetheless. Alright. Let's see over here. There would be Hygnus first. Of course, it's another bear, so I must make him all bearish and all that. Oh, there we are. And of course, bears having the big broad snouts over here. He is drinking his beer very, very fancy and all that. He's got a pretty big beer bottle there too. Goodness, this is more of a wine bottle than beer, but I mean, well, you might as well do it big. There we are. He's got his beer bottle. He'd probably have to hold his beer bottle with two bear paws there. There we go. We've got Hygnus over here. Hygnus the bear. I know it's not really bearish right now. Again, you paid for no artistic merit. You paid for the suffering of watching an old dragon try to draw. Whereas, well, really all I do is just scribble on a page with half-closed eyes and sort of hope that it comes out well. There we are. We've got sort of a nice paunchy belly. There we are. And, well, I'll draw the bubble feet just because I can. There. Bubble feet because I ran out of space. There we are. And, what was that? Oh, and he also has sort of these overalls as well, or these breeches that go down to the pants that would be down here. There we are. And then we've got myself. I'm not really a beer sort of person. I'm more of a wine sort of dragon, but I guess I'm drawing bottles here, so you can't really distinguish whether it's beer or wine. So here I am. How do I draw myself again? I'm not sure. I don't know how to draw myself. It is difficult to draw an old celestial dragon. I don't look at myself in the mirror too often. I have no reason to. There we are. Yes, noodles. Lots of noodles, of course. Dun 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 dun. And we all know the features of celestial dragons. I believe that side's actually running dry. I must get myself a new drawing pen. There we are. All the features of Tien Long. And of course, because I am Tien Long, I must be double fisting. There we are. So I've got two bottles on me because, well, again, Tien Long, he has to show all the young ones how it's done. There we are, sort of the stumpy, stimpy legs. Not really bubble legs, but we'll make do with that. All right. Let me see what else we need. Oh, of course, we need the Christmas tree again in the background as well. We need a sort of a light tree back here. Sort of a crooked tree. This tree clearly went to Thursday. Yes, everything done with Christmas trees. Well, I might as well give myself a Christmas hat as well, then, seeing as how I'm wearing one. There we go. That we'll pretend that's the Christmas hat over there as well. So this one over here is for. I'm going to address this to Hygnus. Yes, to Hygnus. There we are. For Hygnus rather. So over here, this is for Hygnus. There we go. And this is from Tien Long. There we are. That is for Hygnus for Tien Long. One more look at that. There you have it. It is Hygnus Banwarth drinking a beer, or wine rather, because Tien is not a beer drinker, with Tien Long. And of course we've got the Christmas tree, as the Christmas tree is very much a symbol of the holiday season we are in right now. And moving on to the next one. Ooh, I'm stumbling a little bit over here. Let me see. Alright. Next one. We have Louis. And what does Louis want me to draw? We have... For the drawing request, I'm a fan of martial arts, and photos of you with your staff are some of my favorites, so I suppose if it was possible to request a drawing of this bear here. Goodness, we have a lot of bears. All three of my first drawings include bears. Alright, let me see, this bear over here, I suppose, drawing this bear here, being trained by your celestial self, of course, with your skills, you'd be more whacking me in the head with your staff while I'll be flailing angrily or something with mine. Alright, well, we can make that work. We can make that work indeed. And, work it shall. Alright, so they want me drawing them as a celestial Sifu of sorts. And me whacking them over the head. Alright, let us begin. So we have myself first as the Sifu, of course. And of course, as a Sifu, I must be all angry and old and grumpy. Essentially, I must be me. There we are. And I'm all like, goodness, why are you such a youngster? Why can't you be old like me? Again, pro tip, don't get old. If you can, stay young as much as you can. Don't get old. Getting old is bad. There we are. We have myself, of course. And we'll draw the Christmas hat on the other one. So this one's a little bit more jolly, I guess, because, again, in the spirit of the season. So that is myself. And I am whacking a like staff or cane or something like that. Perhaps it will be my pimp cane. Yes, perhaps I shall be whacking you over the head with my draconic pimp cane. Yes, and then the dragon's head is like that, and you know it's all snarly and it's got teeth and all that. There we are. Draconic pimp cane, and it's got all these scales and all that. So I am. It looks like I'm casting a spell rather than whacking someone on the head with a pimp cane. All right. And there's the peanut-shaped body, of course, and the bubbly feet. All right, and we've got Trottlehims, or not Trottle. We've got Louise, I believe it is. I'm not sure if you go by other names, Louise, but I'll go with that for now. And we've got Louise over here, and Louise over here is just like, why do you do this to me? And he's over here flailing, and he's like, I can't do this, Master Tien, because you are too grumpy, and I am not grumpy. There we are. What other features does Louise over here have? I believe he's got a stripe or something of the sort over there. He's got sort of bear fur muzz over there. And over here he's got his own staff, and he's sort of like new with the staff. So over here he has to be saying, new. There we are. So that is myself whacking Louise over the head with my pimp cane, and he's going new. And of course I must draw the impact lines of me smacking him on the head, which hurts, of course, because I am Tien Long, and I would not smack you over the head unless I mean it. All right. Let me see if there is a proper name I should address this to. I apologize if I haven't been reading the names correctly. Let me see. Something, something, something. Again, I'm not looking at the stream right now, or rather, I'm not looking at the chat, so, yes, I'm not looking at the chat, so if you are trying to tell me or message me about things, then, I will not receive it, unfortunately. I am currently not in the position to. Alright, I'll say for Louise for now. I apologize again for Louise if there's another name you'd like me to address you by, but I believe Louise is suitable enough. There we are. That is, again, myself teaching by example, I guess, which includes beating youngsters over the head. Yes, that works for me. All right. All right, now let me see the next one we have to go. The next one is from Warriors. Warriors who had already left due to his work schedule. Unfortunately, he will be working tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. So it is good if he gets some rest. I would not want him to be late for work. Alright, this one from Warriors is, I would like you to draw Tien Long, my big brother, decorating the tree while Tien enjoying his sake. Oh, well, isn't that sweet? So we have a family photo now. We have a family portrait, which also happens to be a game in Who's Line. We have a family portrait coming up of my big brother decorating the tree. So first of all, we need my big brother. And of course, my big brother here, he is very happy to decorate the tree, because that's what big brothers do. They decorate trees and they provide good hugs. So my big brother over here, I might need to replace my drawing utensils soon, or drawing, my drawing medium soon, rather. Oh, that's not me. That is, well, I could be over here enjoying my sake. Okay, I accidentally drew myself, but no worries. I can draw myself on this side. Oh, and I forgot I have to be wearing a Christmas hat on this side, so my apologies. And I shall be holding on to my sake on this side. There we are. I'm holding on to my sake. Of course, I'm enjoying it slowly. Must not rush the festivities. All the best things in life are savored rather than rushed. Alright, I shall be on this side over here. And over on this side here, we have my big brother, who is just as happy, of course. He is happy because he gets to decorate the tree while his little brother enjoys all the sake. Perhaps we'll get some sake afterwards. There we are. That's more like my big brother. Alright. And over here he's got some sake ornaments as well, similar to the ones that I'd shown earlier. And his peanut body, we are identical in peanut bodies, that is. And of course we need the tree. The tree shall be over on this side. I definitely need to find a new drawing utensil after this. So drawing medium, rather. I keep on saying utensil as if I were going to use this to eat. And we have a tree over here that's decorated. Our tree has a star because, well, my brother and I, we that's how we roll. And the star is also surprised that we are hanging more ornaments on the tree because, well, of course, for anyone that knows of my drawings, they know that everything inanimate becomes animate at that point. Alright, and this is for Warriors, who has gone to the land of dreams, hopefully, dreaming about, well, hopefully not about work, but dreaming about, well, anything else that would be happy and appropriate for this holiday season. Alright, for Warriors, and of course I must put, oh, I've accidentally bent the paper on the side. Oh, dearie me. Well, I'll call that a sake stain afterwards. That is from Tien Long. Alright. Leave that over there. We're about halfway through now, about halfway through. I shall see what other requests I have from my other patrons. We have, next up, we have from Altoriu. I would like a photo of myself, or picture. I think I would like a picture of myself and Ting making Tien-shaped somewhat, or a Tien-shaped snowman as Tien watches wind nearby, whilst snow falls in the background. Okay, well, I believe I can do that. In the meantime, can I grab myself another drawing utensil? Let me see if I can stick with this one. This one's still got some juice left in it, so let's see how far we can get. Alright, so I'll tour you and my big brother making a snowman in my shape while I watch in the background. Alright, let's see how we can do with this one. Alright, here we are. So we've got I'll tour you. And I'll tour you in his noodly self, I'm assuming, because of course, when you're amongst noodle dragons, you must be a noodle dragon yourself. And over here, of course, he is helping to make the Tien-shaped snowman, so we must draw sort of the outlines of Tien Long as a snowman. There we are. This is me as a snow long. I am a snow long. A snowlong. Yes, I'm a snow long that is known as a snowlong. Snowlong. I can't even say that myself. A snowlong. There we are. And I have my little snow bubble arms as well. And even my snow whiskers. They must be some master sculptors to give me a pair of snow whiskers like that. And apparently, Altoriu has bulked up just slightly because of the winter. Of course, the winters up here are cold, whereas down under, I know that they're a little warmer, a lot warmer, rather, than they are here. Same thing with Singapore, too, which is where my brother is from. And he himself will also be a little peanut-shaped as well, because, well, that's what Roly Bros are for. There we are. Dun, 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 dun. There we are, my big brother, making his little brother as a snowman. And of course my big brother is peanut shaped. Dun, 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 dun. And then I was to put myself in the background. So I shall put myself in the background. Sort of unimpressed over here. There we are. Here's me totally unimpressed because I am standing right there and I am not getting adorations from my big brother. Big brother adorations are extremely important for brotherly relationships of any sort. You must frequently get big brother adorations and little brother adorations on the other side. And it's like, why are you adoring a snowman, big brother? And he is going dot, 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 dot up there. And there's snow falling in the background, so draw little flakes of things falling in the background, I guess. Maybe I'm so angry because he made me pudgier than I actually am. I'm not sure. But that is the gist of it. That is Altoriu and my big brother building me as a snowman while I judge them silently in the background. I am judging them very much so silently, perhaps even non-silently when I tackle that snowman into little bits. Alright, so this is for Altoriu. There you are. And that is from Tien Long La. There we are. One more look at that. That is Artoriu and my big brother making a Tien-shaped snowman with me looking in the background, all unimpressed. Alrighty. I shall keep on going. Again, I hope that you are all still with me. I know that there are many drawings to get through. I hope that you will bear with me as I continue moving along. We shall be over soon. But who do we have next? We have Arabian Darkstone. Arabian Darkstone, who has two drawings who I owe because he had missed the first drawing he was owed in November. Let me see. I finally got two ideas for the drawings during the next stream. The first being an unhappy dragon freezing his tail off while a feral doe prances happily around me in the snow. Alright. Let's see if we can work with that. Let's see if we can work. Alright. Arabian being unhappy in the snow while a doe dragon prances about. Alright, here we go. So we have, of course, Arabian is being very sort of cross right now because, well, apparently some dragons are not suited for the snow. I don't blame him. Even living in Canada myself, I am not quite suited to the acclimated to the conditions that we have here. Alright. Other details that Arabian has over here. And perhaps we'll put Arabian sort of stuck in the snow, which means that you'll be sort of neck deep in snow over there, so you are completely buried in snow. Perhaps sort of the wingtips over here are sticking out. There we are. We have some claw tips of the wings that are sticking out of the snow. I am not very good at details or whatnot, so I do apologize if I am sort of messing up a few of them. Again, you knew what you were walking into. And we have a doe, which I'm assuming will look about the same. Unless there's another image, I don't think there is, but we'll have a doe dragon prancing around over here, so we'll have another dragon. And of course the doe dragons have eyelashes, because eyelashes are the only way you can tell the difference between male or female in dragons. Of course, not saying that as a fact, of course, but, well. And we'll give her slightly shorter horns. They don't usually have the larger horns between the two of us. There we are. And it's like, prance, prance, prance through the snow. Haha, you're stuck. Too bad for you. Sucks to be you. Right, prancing through the snow. I can't really draw the body back there unless I draw like a snake. But, I mean, at least she's sort of prancing around. And, of course, Arabian being completely unimpressed. Perhaps we'll draw a few, like, sort of dragon prints of her prancing around him in the snow. There we are. Alright. Well, this is the Arabian Darkstone over here, and the doe prancing around Arabian in the snow, and he's totally unimpressed because, well, again, there's not really a lot of dragons that are quite acclimated to the snow yet. So this is for Arabian number 1. So for Arabian Darkstone, there we are, Arabian Darkstone. That's number 1 for you. And for your number 2, let us see what you have for number 2. Number 2, you would like the same for Tien Long? You want the same for me? Oh wait, no, you do not want the same for me. Oh, sorry. The other is of that same dose sheltering under my wing. Alright, well, we can see what we can do there. I'm not sure how well it will turn out again. The artistic talent does not exist within the celestial dragon. Alright, here we go. So we have Arabian Darkstone over here. There we are, Arabian Darkstone, and we've got more horns here. Dun 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 dun. And Arabian's got his wings sheltering over her as well. I'm not really good at drawing wings, as Eastern dragons, well, we're not really the wingiest of creatures. I'm good at drawing noodles. That's my specialty is noodles, and well, we shall try to make do as much as we can over here. Well, I sort of drew the snout a little weirdly there. I apologize, but we'll get the point across. Alright, there we are. More Arabian Darkstone over here. We have the big hind legs over here as well. And she's sort of just relaxing over here. And then the smaller horns. Dun 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 dun. Alright. And of course you've got the smaller wing set over here, just a little bit of a smaller wing set, resting under his wing. And well, let's, of course, in the spirit of the holidays, we'll put another mistletoe over here so we all can use our imaginations to guess what happens. Well, off camera, of course, and stuff, but of course in the spirit of the holidays. And we've got a Christmas tree out here as well. I'm not sure if it's outdoors or indoors, but it works in both situations. Dragons are not known for staying in houses. We're better for destroying them. Alright. We'll put a little snow as well in the background here, sheltering the damsel from the snow outside. Alright, so that is part 2 for Arabian, where we have his dragon sheltering his lovely damsel over there under his wing, as a true gentle dragon would, from the outdoor cold, or the snowflakes rather, that are dropping. So that is 4. Arabian Darkstone. There we are. We have from Tien Long. Alright, moving along. We've got the next one over here. I promise there won't be too many more to go. It seems that we are heading into the tail end of things. Walt has asked me to draw for this month. I was thinking of getting you complaining to your big brother Ching about the snowfall. Alright, well, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Myself complaining to my big brother as to why it is so gosh darn snowy outside. And I pulled the cover off of my seat. Goodness gracious. Ugh, remind me to not buy these sort of things from the discount. So, get over here, you. Alright. So myself complaining to Big Brother, as I always do. Alright, so I don't usually yell at my big brother, however, but of course I am a grumpy dragon, so the reputation precedes me. And I am yelling all over. And I've grown a little tummy. I guess I've grown a little tummy because of the cold. I have not been exercising as much. Alright, so in that case, I am yelling and I am saying all sorts of profane words because that is what I do apparently when I am angry about the snow. And Big Brother over here is just like, it's not my fault. There we are. Big Brother over here is a little aghast that his little brother would be on such a tirade. But then again, he should expect it. I am his little brother, and I am a grumpy dragon. And of course, he's just over there going, "Da fuck, yo, da fuck." So over here, he'd be just saying, "Da fuck." There we are. So that would be myself and my... I keep on bending the corners of the pages. Going da fuck. And of course, there has to be mountains of snow all over us. So pretend that's a mountain of snow, something like that. I can't really indicate that it is snow, but I can at least draw some more snowflakes or snowfall, one of the two. And of course, it's standing amongst the snowdrifts as well. Alright. The dragon is slowly getting a little weary, so I should sort of speed up the process of these things. So this is for vote. There we are. Tien Long. Alright, this here is for vote. It is of my big brother and I am complaining to my big brother, why the hell it is snowing so much? Why did you have to make Canada such a snowy place, and why couldn't I just be in a place where I could just, relax in the sun and eat boughs all day long and drink sake? Oh, alright. That is for vote over there. We shall continue moving on. I shall close that tab over here, and I believe we have 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Alright. 2 more to go unless I have missed someone in particular. No, I only have 1 sheet here. Goodness gracious. Did I really have that many? Alright. Well, as my patrons have paid, of course, or will be paying, I hope, of course. If you are a new patron, you must wait until the payment processes at the beginning of each month. Otherwise, you will not get your drawing, which would make me very sad. And, well, I would not receive the payment, which would make me very mad. So, mad and sad, not a good combination. But, of course, I would most definitely like to get you all your drawings that I owe. So, on that note, we have Indigo Ryu. Indigo Ryu would like me to draw him and I sitting on recliners next to a chimney fire, drinking wine, and just enjoying the evening. I'm attaching a line art of my avatar. Alright, well, we can try that. Let me see if I can open this up. There we are. Alright, sitting by a chimney fire, drinking wine, enjoying the evening. Alright, let's see what we can do about this one. We shall draw the chimney fire first. We have a nice mantelpiece over here. We've got a hearth going over here. And we've got this nice warm blaze going on. Very nice, very suitable for the winter and all that jazz. Draw a bit of the chimney. There we are. Alright. On this side we'll have myself enjoying the evening. There we are, with my glass of wine. And Santa hat. Oh, goodness, I forgot the Santa hat in the previous one. Ah, well. Can't win them all anyhow. Alright, and we've got my little peanut body over here, of course. But we must be in recliners, so I am sitting on this seat which has so graciously reclined for me. There we are. And now for Indigo Ryu. Alright, Indigo Ryu. You would like a cartoony version of yourself, and you sent me a very not cartoony reference, but we shall do our best. So over here we've got a very long snout, and very sort of pointed as well. Got 1, 2, 3. I hope that is sort of getting there. It's sort of a wyvern / noodle combo from what I can see and what I can tell. And you've sort of got a nice sort of crest going on back here, or a mane of some sort, or just a ridge fur. And you've got your own glass of wine over here off to the side as well. And from what I can tell, again, you're very noodly, such as myself, so in that case I shall give you a noodly body of sorts, which noodles all around, and you can't really tell which is the front and which is the end, and it sort of noodles and tangles all on its own. So you're noodling up the recliner over here. Yes, like that, yeah. There we go, you're noodling up the recliner. And I have my peanut body over here, as I have sort of entered the bow state over there. And yes, so that is Indigo Ryu, and that is myself, and we are enjoying our wine by the chimney fireplace over there. So this is for Indigo Ryu, Tien Long. There we are. And, well, I have one more email here, I believe. I'm not sure if I missed any. I shall double check afterwards. And this one is from, last but not least, I believe. Oh, no, I have 2 more emails. I lied. I am sorry. We have Silent Dawn and Silver Gatlavon. So those are our final 2 emails or entries. But before that, I shall be right back. I have run out of paper. I shall quickly run and fetch some more, so please bear with me. I shall be right back. Into the other dimension I go. All right. What I can find here, I found my remaining 2 pieces of paper for the remaining 2 drawing requests that I have received from Silver Gatomon and Silent Dawn. Now, Silent Dawn, I see your email has come before Silver Gatomon's, so I shall start with that. But no worries, both of you shall receive your drawings. Alright, Silent Dawn. Let us see what sort of tiger-inspired drawing you'd like me to do. I'd like for you to draw myself a tiger, of course, doing battle with the tiger's most fearsome natural enemy, the vacuum. It will be an intense battle of wits, strength, agility, and use of skittles. Okay. So we've got Silent Dawn the Tiger facing off in a battle of epic proportions, the stuff that legends are made out of, against a vacuum with an apparent use of skittles. Alright, let us try this. Alright, here we go. We have Silent Dawn over here. We have the tiger, Silent Dawn, and he's all tigerish and stuff, so he's got his stripes and, all that stuff. And he's all ready for battle with the most feared enemy of kitties, or of tigers, not kitties. I did not call you a kitty just now, of course. There we are. And of course we have to give the tiger his stripes, of course. There we are. More stripes and all that. And up against Silent Dawn, we have the mighty Vacuumatron 300, complete with the spinning rotors and wheels and a smarty phone plug-in capability, and comes with 3 coffee maker, and well, of course we have to make it animated as well, so we're going to make it a very mean vacuum cleaner, and they're both pouncing at each other, and it is a battle of epic proportions. So we have to put these impact things. Of course, we have to decorate it like it's a comic book or something of the sort. So I'm going to include all of that, and it is a battle that has skittles. So I shall put Silent Dawn armed with a bag of skittles, or skits, or something like that. He has a bag of skits, not skittles. He has a bag of skitties. There we are. And the vacuum cleaner has, I guess, is shooting skittles at him. I don't know. Yes, the vacuum cleaner is spitting out skittles at him. It is not a very effective vacuum cleaner if it is spitting out the stuff it vacuums. And perhaps he is shaking the skitters out of his little packet as well. And I would draw faces on the skittles, but, well, frankly, it's a little too small for me. Alright, and Of course, it is a very epic battle, so we must have sound effects, such as Silent Dawn over here is going meow, and the vacuum cleaner over here is going like brrr. And then someone off camera over here, is going wow. And that is the battle of epic proportions between Silent Dawn and the vacuum cleaner, the most feared enemy of kitties and whatnot. So that is over here. I don't even need to sign this because I know exactly who the tiger is for, but then again, it is a nice memento, and well, we have an earlier picture of a tiger being licked, so just to be safe. There we are. Alright, there we are. We have Silent Dawn and the Battle of the Ages versus a vacuum cleaner with an excessive use of Skittles. You see, it is so epic that the drawing itself is intensifying. You see, the drawing is intensified. Yeah. Yes, Skittles intensify. Alright. And last but not least, finally, I know that many of you are grateful that we have now reached this point. I apologize again, but of course I owe my patrons this much at the very least for supporting me in keeping this stream going. Alright, last but not least, for the requests that I have received, we have Silver Gatomon. Let me see what Silver Gatomon has requested. Tien and Ting opening presents together. Alright, Tien Long and Tien Long opening presents together. My big brother and I opening our presents, and of course, this is a holiday, very festive time, so we shall make sure that it is extra festive and all that. So, we shall start with myself. And we have myself over here, and I have received, we don't know what I've received, but I must make sure I am fully bodied, or have a full body at least before I receive anything. Well, that side's drawing out. There we are. More details and all that. And I have received, of course, I received from my big brother's wine good. So my big brother has given me his personal wine good to drink wine out of because he knows that I like his wine. After all, it tastes much better if it's not yours. There we are. So there's my present box, and there's the wrapping on it and whatnot. There we are. And the lid came off here. There we are. So I got my big brother's wine good there. And in return, my big brother also got something very useful and very much wanted as well. Just have to finish up the details. You see, I am much better at drawing noodles than I am at most other species. Oh, those are my horns, excuse me. Sorry, big brother. I've given you a bit of my horns, but not sure that you mind at all. After all, I guess we can steal each other's appearances every once in a while. After all, I steal your robes, you can steal mine. And big brother gets from me, he gets an entire pack of real bacon. Yes, real bacon inside his present, because over there in Singapore, it is extremely hard to find not only real bacon, or decent bacon, but real bacon as well. So, because my big brother, as any sane human is, or any sane dragon, sorry, is a avid fan of bacon, has received a bacon gift from his little brother. There we are. You see, it's always the thought that counts, and I know that he thinks of bacon quite often. So, well, yes, that is for my big brother. Yes, a nice pack of bacon. Because, well, bacon is good. Anyhow, yes. So I get the wine and he gets the bacon. And there's the mistletoe. No one needs to know what happens. And yes, the Christmas tree, of course. The mistletoe was underneath the Christmas tree, of course, to make it extra festive, rather. And there we are. Alright, this is for Silver Gatomon. I shall abbreviate that. Silver Gatomon. There we are. This is my big brother and I opening our Christmas presents. I have received Big Brother's personal sake good, and he has received a pack of real bacon, because goodness knows that Singapore has a drastic lack of real bacon. Alright. That seems to be it, as far as I can tell, for all of my drawings. If I have missed your drawing and you have paid as a patron before the stream started, and again, if you are a new patron, you must wait until January passes, until your payment processes, and you have to check with your bank account or your credit card before you receive your drawing, because it would be much a shame if I was not able to mail out your drawing. After all, it is what you paid for, and I hope that you can keep it as a personal memento or Christmas card from Tien Long. But, yes, that should be all the drawings for now. But, Oh, I'm seeing something in the chat right now, something that says... something that apparently has disgusted something or someone. Let me see what just happened. Oh, and I've just lost my chat page right now, so let me go back to my chat page. Excuse me 1 second here. Not quite sure what happened there. Oh, well, I'm assuming that nothing happened, but anyhow, we shall take one more brief intermission, and then we shall return to the stream. So, if you shall excuse me, I will be right back. Alright, let me just push this back in here. Adjust the camera a little bit, and we are back in business. No indecency. No dragon indecency allowed. Oh, that's a little bit off there. Try to push this back. Get a bit of a better view of the dragon. Oh, I did not lower this. Let me lower the angle a little bit. There we are. That seems to be much better. Well, we have finished the drawing segment of the Grumpystream. I apologize if that took a little longer than expected. I had a good increase in drawings, but I hope that nonetheless you still enjoyed seeing them. And again, as a reminder for my patrons, particularly my new patrons, if you have not sent me your mailing address, please do so before January. And again, please keep your Patreon subscriptions until January, so that they may go through and I may mail your drawings to you. Sometimes the sake gets caught up in little tufts of, well, food or dinner that I have had before the stream starts. I usually have a good meal before the stream starts, so I do not get too peckish or famished while the stream is running. Alright, that seems to be a bit better. But carrying on to where we were. Oh, I cannot see the stream chat. If you'll excuse me, I will put it back to the chat right there. Alright. Uncle Kage says that they need to get going, meaning himself and Grandma Kage over there. They have 2 coded messages for me. I wonder what they could be. Well, I hope that they are not riddles of any sort or any kind, as well, an old dragon doesn't like to be too caught up with solving riddles when he has a show to run and whatnot. But do tell what they are, if you will, good sir. Oh, what else is happening at the moment? Fernando asks if the stream will end soon. We'll see what happens, Fernando. Perhaps the stream will run another 10 or 15 minutes, perhaps a little longer. I do have the streams for approximately 3 hours each time that I run a stream, and it is getting close to that mark. Again, I apologize, as the drawings took up quite a bit of time, as well as a dragon is feeling a little weary at the moment. But, of course, it is not about the quantity. I hope that it is more about the quality, and that I have been able to bring about some laughter or joy to you tonight. Anyhow, let us see what this coded message is from Uncle Kage. And aha! The first coded message I understand perfectly well, which is music to my eyes rather than my ears, as I am not hearing it, but rather seeing it. So that is music to my eyes, and I am very, very interested in hearing, well, in hearing the rest of the coded message at some other point. But that is good to hear. The second coded message is, that is not a coded message whatsoever. That is plain. That is in plain sight for everyone to see, and you know exactly. Anyhow, thank you very much for coming, my dear friend, and I hope both you and Grandma have yourselves a pleasant evening. We shall chat soon. But for the rest of my stream, let me see. Yes, and I have the Singaporeans as well as those in the surrounding regions already knocking that wine thief for me. We have my big brother's cousin Dark Lurker smacking him in the head with the dragon cane. In fact, I shall do exactly that for Uncle Kage. There we are. I hit you on the head with my cane, which means I have just pimped you, and now I command you to go out and fetch drinks for me in the name of celestialness. Yes, that is my story, and I'm sticking with it. I shall have another sip of the sake, as I had not had a single sip in the past hour or so. Much better, much more refreshing. So let us see what else is happening in the chat right now. Tien, could you... Ooh, I missed that message. I shall scroll up for that one as I have been neglecting my chat duties. Could you please link us to the music you are using for the stream? It was awesome. I shall try my best to remember to link it once the stream ends. I'll tell you what. If you enjoy the music in which I am playing during my intermissions as well as the introduction, I will, at the end of the stream, when the stream goes offline, I will post the link in the chat for all of you to follow. And, well, hopefully you enjoy the same genre of music that a celestial dragon does. You may have noticed that I am not using the original music that I have used for many a stream, simply because, well, it is again the holiday season, and I wanted to change it up a little bit, so not to be boring all the time. What else are my good audience members saying? I have enjoyed my time here, even if I arrived late for the stream. Michelle Raymond says, oh, well, not to worry. You only missed the best parts, which always seem to happen when people are not here. But fear not, of course. It is good to have you here regardless. Let me see. Volt says, Altoria, you will need to ask Tien, Doc, or Kage yourself one day. Well, I'm not sure what you need to ask, but I'm right here, and I'm still taking any sort of questions or comments until the stream ends, which, well, depending on how the pace of the stream goes, will perhaps might be soon, perhaps might be later. We'll see. This old Siberian prefers his progressive or symphonic power metal. Really been enjoying some metal operas of late, says Dmitri. Well, I'll have you know, Dmitri, that I had recently been to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra live in concert, and they were playing basically their best hits over the past 25, 30 years that they have been around. I'm not sure what it is, and I had thoroughly enjoyed the fusion of classical Christmas tunes infused with the power and the bone-shaking awesomeness that is the metal and rock that they bring. And, well, they also had a dragon in their show as well, which I was very pleased to see. They had a very nice dragon in the background at one point, which, breathed fire and destroyed everything. And then real fire was coming out from different parts of the venue as well, which I was sitting right next to. So I got a very nice tan on one side of my face. Well, let me see. Tien, did you have a good time at MFF? Asked Star Talaka. Yes, I had already mentioned it, but I had a wonderful time at Midwest Fest, sort of keeping low-key. And although I did not make too many appearances, I had made enough that I believed I had met everyone that wanted to see me. And, well, I also received quite a few offerings as well. One I had shown off earlier tonight, thanks to Briggs Buckingham again. And I hope that I am able to make it next year. We shall see what happens. All right. And Kenrick says, this is a lovely song for next Christmas stream. My Kurakai Winter Bells. Well, I shall see whether or not I have another Christmas stream, perhaps next year. I was actually thinking back a month ago that I would have my stream on Christmas Eve, but then I realized, of course, that everyone would be busy with their own plans on Christmas Eve, so who would want to spend time with the Celestial Dragon, watching him drink and drink and drink until he falls down on Christmas Eve. So we shall see what happens for the next time around. Let me see what else. And Fernando asks, Tien, before you go, what is your favorite Pokemon? Well, I'm not really one into such childish things, but if I had a favorite Pokemon, hands down, I would say Lugia. Lugia is my favorite Pokemon, as he is a fellow dragon. I don't care what anyone says about him being a bird, because screw being a bird when you can be a dragon. So Lugia is my favorite Pokemon. He has the traits of a Celestial, a true Celestial, the benevolence that he has, the sort of, the grace and majesty that he exudes with his very presence. He is the definition of a Celestial. So he would be my top pick for Pokemon. Let me see. Anything else? Something. My big brother's cousin Dark Lurker says not Dragonite with a sticking out tongue face. And, well, if you're talking about a Dragonite, I assume that you mean a Bownite instead. And a Bownite, as you know, or if you were here earlier in the stream, that belongs to the family of Bows, and though they may disguise themselves in the color scheme of Dragonites, they are simply just Bows, and the only thing that they know is rollout, because that's what Bows do, they roll. Yes, and now I have all the youngsters here saying, oh, yes, this is my favorite Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon. And I've essentially turned the stream into a Pokemon chat. Well, while you youngsters have your fill of Pokemon, I shall have another fill of my sake. Cheers to you all. Goodness, that was a hefty amount of sake in that one sip. I most definitely got a little parched while I was doing all those drawings. But it is currently past the 3-hour mark of the stream now. And again, I am starting to feel the effects of weariness. Again, don't get old if you can't help it. I am an old dragon, and unfortunately we don't have as much strength as we used to while we were younger. But I will try to stay on at least a few more minutes and see what other questions or comments you youngsters have, if you are finished with the Pokemon, of course. And just to reiterate a few things that I'd mentioned earlier as well, if you are heading to any conventions in 2017, there are a few that I shall make appearances at. The first one confirmed being in Canada at Fernal Equinox, then at Motor City FurCon afterwards, then Anthrocon, and then I will do my very best to make it to Eurofurence. Eurofurence, of course, in Berlin, Germany. It will be a new experience for me, and I hope that I will be able to meet many a German fur there. Let me see what else is going on. And Alex says, but we must be old to drink in America. You must be old to drink legally in America. That doesn't mean you have to be old to drink while you're in America. Of course, you didn't hear that from me, but, well, you youngsters already knew that. At least, well, at the back of your head you knew that. Let me see what else people are saying as well. Oh, where's my little cursor? There, somewhere over there. I can't. Oh, there it is. Tien. Oh, I saw a question that said, "Who made Tien?" Well, Tien was brought down to Earth by two individuals. The first one being Midori 8, who owns Sutadile Creations, and the second being Wolfbird, who owns Northern Lights Costume Creations. Those are the two lovely damsels that helped me with my descent down to Earth. Of course, being retired, it's a little bit difficult to make the transition on my own. And luckily, these two were specialists in helping a celestial dragon make his journey back down to Earth. Or back down to Earth, rather, not back down. Just curious, Ten, asks Godroxen, with such pleasing and soothing voice of yours, can you sing? Well, I don't really consider myself much of a musician of any sort, but I have been asked by many a youngster whether or not I have a musical side to myself, and I've sort of come up with a silly idea that perhaps, if there were enough interest and there was enough willing wallets, so to say, at a convention where people would be attending, I would sing for charity. I would perform karaoke alongside at least a musician or two, say perhaps Foxamore or Rhubarb the Bear or Pepper Coyote, and I would perform for charity. Of course, there'd have to be donations to get an old dragon to sing, and I would have to swallow my dignity and tell myself it is for the kittens. For the kittens, I say, before I reveal any sort of musical side of myself. I even recently had an even more nonsensical thought to myself, where if I had raised enough in terms of donations or some sort of dare or challenge that included donations, that I would even host a DJ set at a convention dance. You heard it right, that I would even host a DJ set for 1 hour at a convention. And of course, all of you youngsters would be like, oh, Tien would just play old Eastern Asian music for an entire hour and we couldn't dance to that. But you'd be surprised as to what a celestial knows and can do. And Indigo Ryu says, Tien, if I have the pleasure to meet you. Oh, you want to meet me? Well, I'm not very meetable. Oh, meet me, as in, see me. Meet me at EF 2013. I'm definitely offering you a drink. Yes, let's talk. Starts throwing money at his screen. Why isn't it working, says Silver Gatomon. Well, Silver Gatomon, I will have to work out the details of such arrangements, such as, again, myself singing or myself DJing at a convention. I'd have to even throw it to a vote. I'd have to see if there's a popular vote for Tien Long to provide the thud thud at a convention, because I'm not quite sure that youngsters would have the same taste as a celestial dragon. Of course, I have to maintain my dignified and, very high-class disposition. And let me see. Silver Gatomon says, Tien, how much to get you to twerk at a con? $1 million. 1 million. Yes, 7 zeros, or 6 zeros behind that one. 1 million. Let me see. And Bruzo says, I would like to see you at a con and take a photo with you. Well, Bruzo, again, you've already heard the list of conventions that I will be at in 2017. Do your best to make it if you can, and I will be more than happy to share a photo with you. Let me see. And Michelle says, I would really like to see him singing at a convention. Well, apparently, most of you have not seen the IFC 2016. Whose line is it in the first place, then? As I believe, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure, but again, Silver Gatomon has uploaded video evidence to my eternal disgrace. He has uploaded the charity Whose Line, which I took part in, and in that we ended off the panel with Irish Drinking Song, which I guess that counts as a drinking song game. I guess that counts as singing, so you can look at that for a taste of what I have to offer. And Nicholas says, I would like to see him make a dance competition. Well, I'll have you know that my human slave is either in charge of or judging several dance competitions per year. Not just a one-time deal, per year. But with that being said, well, again, perhaps I shall set milestones for myself. Just a little bit of fun with my followers and supporters to see, perhaps, a goal from 2017 start to, say, 1 month before Anthrocon, depending on the amount raised for charity, Tien Long will do this, this, and this. Perhaps that will be an idea. None of it going towards me, but all towards the kittens. For the kittens, I say, for the kittens. Alright, let us see what else. And Walt Ascor says, drunken singing anyways. Well, drunken singing anyways, you'd have to go to Euroference for that. Euroference being the home of the drunkards in Europe, and of course, it's Europe. This is the home of the drunkards, so we've got the home of the drunkards, including the wine thief himself. The wine thief himself has been known to be singing at Eurofriends many a time, whether it be doing, I believe it was, a sort of Christmas carol in Norwegian or something like that, or singing others' drinking songs. I'm not sure what it is. There have been too many to remember. But yes, Eurofriends being the home of the drunkards, you're sure to find lots of drunken singing there. Perhaps I shall take part of it if I am there myself. Let me see. Indigo Ryu says, "Hey Tien, what are your New Year's resolutions?" Well, my resolutions for the New Year's will most likely stay the same, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels in full HD definition, while I drink my sake from my snowman cup. Cheers to your resolution and mine. That is my New Year's resolution, and, well, since I'm not upgrading to 4K, I believe I will be sticking with that for... Oh, you meant resolutions, as in the goals I have for the new year. Oh, well, well, I haven't really... I'm still working on them. I'll leave you with that. I'm still working on my resolutions. Let me see. Yes. Dimitri says, "My favorite beers are German. I expect I will be quite drunk at some point." Well, if you're at Eurofriends and you are not drunk at some point, regardless what kind of drunk you are, you have not experienced the entire convention. Now, I know that there are those who say, "Oh, I don't like drinking," or "I'm completely sober, it's my lifestyle does not allow me to drink," all of that nonsense. If you want to really have the full con experience, do yourself a favor and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself at the bar. Heck, most of the time someone else will buy the drink for you at Eurofriends. They're just nice like that. Let me see. Something. Business numbers, more Pokemon talk. Alright. Well, at this point, I believe that there will be only a few moments left before I will decide to adjourn the stream for this month and for this year. Again, this being the final stream for 2016, and of course this year being the completely dreadful year that it has been from start to finish. The absolute worst year that I can remember of this past century. Well, not this past century, perhaps this past quarter century. The absolute worst year that I could have thought of in recent memory time. So this will be the last stream of this year, and I hope that when I do return in 2017, we will have a better outlook on how things will turn out. But again, I shall take any last questions or comments, but if not, then we will adjourn for 2016, and I will return in 2017 at some point, and I hope to see all of you there as well. So let's see what the chat has to say. And Michelle says, "I hope to see you at another stream and or con one day. It has been a pleasure, and thank you for entertaining." Tien Long, well, thank you for giving me a reason to entertain in the first place. After all, I host these streams knowing that I have at least brightened your day or evening or anything of the sort, as I know that many of you watch my streams in order to get away from the trials and tribulations of everyday life. So if I can provide that service, then I shall. So thank you very much again to my audience for bearing with me. Let me see. Something. Business numbers. Kenrick says, "If I see you at a con, can I hug you?" Well, if you ask politely, and I know that you're there, so you're not just asking the thin air if you can hug Tien, then you hug me. If you ask me politely at a convention, most of the time I will say yes, of course. Of course, the thing I hate most, as well as most fursuiters do, is when we're minding our own business, or we're already preoccupied, and we randomly get hugged. Now, unless you are one of my best friends, or you're some sort of like bouncer trying to kick me out of a club, you do not have permission to hug me whatsoever. So I very much appreciate those that ask me for a hug, and I'm more willing to give a hug for those that ask. Of course, you treat others the way that you would like to be treated. Ugh. And Silver Gottamon says, the first time I drank at a con was at IFC this year, 8 cons in. This IFC by far the best con experience I've ever had, including the fire alarm. Yes, the fire alarm during the three-headed monster, of course. And as soon as that kicked in, literally every one of the panelists, as well as Kage and my human slave, instantly turned into convention chairman mode, where in true fashion of all convention chairmen and organizers, it was Alkali, Pandas, myself, not myself, but Uncle Kage and my human counterpart, my slave, had instantly kicked everyone out of the room, then swept the hotel in a record time. We literally sprinted down the hallways in a speed that would have shamed an Olympian, and then gotten everyone out, and then we learned that it wasn't our fault. So at that point, we started saying, we didn't start the fire, and all that sort of stuff. So that was an interesting little aside from Indie FurCon this year. By the way, if you're in the market for any sort of Midwestern conventions, I highly suggest not Midwest, but in the Midwest region, I highly suggest Indie FurCon. Indie FurCon is a very pleasant little convention that has lots to do for everyone that goes. Ugh. And Fernando says, I wish it would have lasted longer, but good things must come to an end, sadly true. Well, fear not, Fernando, because it is never goodbye, it is always see you next time. And, of course, this stream, well, most usually runs every month or so, so although you may have to wait a few weeks until you hear of the next announcement of my stream, you will surely hear of another stream, and you will surely be able to hear all of my old senile drunken ramblings. So fear not, it is never goodbye, it is just see you later. And there's a very long comment over here. All I can make out is, will you be drinking on New Year's Eve? If I wasn't drinking on New Year's Eve, I would not be able to greet the New Year's properly then. It is, if you imagine it as if it were two sentient creatures, and 2016 was that person at the party who was, belligerently drunk and completely messing everything up, then you would take him and you'd throw him out the door, and as you're throwing him out the door, there's that new guy that the new guy who looks like he needs a friend and has, superior social skills, and, he's like the life of the party once you give him a drink or two. That's 2017. So, of course, if you're not drinking, you would not realize that, because when you drink, you have different perceptions of things and all that. So then that's the moment where you would grab 2017 around the shoulders and you would drag 2017 into your party and say, hey, here, I'm glad you made it. Here, have a drink. Yes, there you go. Yes, drink, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're not drinking on New Year's Eve, well, I hope that you have a pleasant time, but I know what I shall be doing in order to welcome the new year in. Let me see. Other thing. Something. Lots of something is happening at the moment. But at this point in time, I do feel an old dragon's weariness beginning to set in very, very heavily. So it is my regret, although, again, I explained earlier about not being goodbye, but it is my regret to say that this Grumpystream edition for 2016 will be coming to a close. But at the same time, I hope that you found some entertainment, whether it be a smile, a chuckle, or a laugh, in what I had to offer to you tonight. And for this particular stream, I thank you all graciously for being a part of the last stream of the crappiest year in recent memory. So I hope that, with that being said, we can all welcome the new year in, and with the new year we shall have perhaps new ambitions, new resolutions, whatever it may be. And I will be able to see you all in the new year, you know, well, in the new year, for one, and in the new year perhaps achieving some of those ambitions and goals that we have set out for ourselves. So, with that being said, I will adjourn this edition of the Grumpystream and adjourn the 2016 edition of Tien Long's Grumpystream, and I will hope to see you all in the new year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you all. Stay warm and stay safe outside, especially if you are in the regions of bad weather. And I hope that I will see you all in 2017, whether in person or in the stream. So, I wish you all safe travels, stay warm, and happy holidays, my friends. See you all next time.